watching Rogers TV.
The Kitchener Rangers are coming off of a historic weekend with back-to-back shutouts. Both Christian Kirsch and Jason Schabel with their first career shutouts in the OHL. Tonight, a legend returns home as Peter DeBoer returns to the Odd as the very first member in the Kitchener Rangers level of legacy. Can the Rangers come out with a victory in front of a former bench boss? Find out right now on Rogers TV.
You are looking at the outside of the Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. It's Friday night. It's time for some OHL hockey. The Saginaw Spirit are in town to take on the Kitchener Rangers. Good evening and welcome to Hefner Kitchener Rangers Hockey on Rogers TV. I am your host, Sean Ferfaro. Now, if you watched This Week in Rangers Nation 2 weeks ago, you heard Carson Campbell tell us November the 7th he was returning. If you watched This Week in Rangers Nation right before we went on the air, you heard Luke Ellenis tell us he didn't know when the date was, but he was coming back soon. Well, soon is sooner than expected. Tonight, back in the lineup, Luke Ellenis, Carson Campbell, and Andrew Vermeulen. All three of those returns. Tonight was supposed to be the return of Peter DeBoer, and all of a sudden, the return means these three Rangers are back in the lineup. I haven't been this excited about this many surprise returns since the 2021 Royal Rumble. What a night we are going to have here in Kitchener. The ceremony for the level of legacy will start in just a few moments, but let's tee up the game. Here are Jason Hagholm and Dan Polischuk.
Well, thank you very much, Sean. And unlike the 2021 Royal Rumble for the Kitchener Rangers, it's not every man for themselves. As the Kitchener Rangers, they have been bonding nicely. But we'll focus on their opponents, the Saginaw Spirit. Dan, this is a team that just a few weeks ago, they were on the outside looking in of the Western Conference. They're starting to play some real good hockey. And when you look at one of the reasons why, they have the October Rookie of the Month on their lineup. That's number 98 in their programs, Nikita Klepov.
Yeah, they were really rolling until they met the Brantford Bulldogs. And we talk about rolling. They certainly are right now, having lost in regulation. But Klepov, the 17-year-old, standing 6 foot, 181 pounds, was the 35th overall selection by the Spirit in this past summer's CHL import draft, or 2 seasons ago, rather. And he's already surpassed last year's points total with his 13 goals in 17 games played thus far, after spending most of last season with the Sioux City Musketeers in the USHL, where he put up 31 points in 59 games played. But he also won a gold medal with Team USA at the U18 Ivan Hlinka Cup as well, and he's committed to the Michigan State Spartans as well, and came in ranked as one of the 27 players with an A rating in the latest NHL Central Scouting preliminary players ranking. So this is a player that's on a lot of scouts and teams' radars heading into his draft here this summer.
Yeah, Scott Wheeler had him being a late first-round pick around 19th or 20th in his recent draft stage, and the OHL put out a graphic. If Nikita Klepov can stay on the pace he's on, he would finish with 112 points, which would put him for 5th overall in rookie scoring, behind a man that will be a future Legends of Honor excellence here in Kitchener, former Kitchener Ranger captain Brian Bellows. So that just shows you the talent pool that Nikita Klepov brings to the table for the Saginaw Spirit. On the flip side, Dan, well, you heard Sean say it. It's the return of the return of the return. A big defenseman's our player to watch, though. Carson Campbell returns to the lineup for the Kitchener Rangers tonight.
Yeah, he's tough as nails, isn't he, Carson Campbell? We talked about it ad nauseum almost to the last year, but it's for good reason, because he was just a stalwart on that blue line for the Blue Shirts since joining the Kitchener Rangers from the Sarnia Sting, and is now 3rd season with the Kitchener Rangers, and certainly not the start he would have hoped for to this campaign, but after some off-season surgery, finally healed up, and certainly the Rangers glad to have him back in the fold. There you see his numbers from a season ago, the 28 points, was 3rd among Rangers defensemen a season ago, but even more impressive, that plus 31, that ranks 2nd in plus minus amongst all Rangers players. So again, it goes to show just there what he does in the back end, how responsible he is when defending the opposition. And certainly we've seen him throw his weight around quite a bit. He doesn't shy away from the rough stuff, and we saw one example of it last year as well, getting hurt in Windsor, and people thought he'd be out for more than a game, and he was back right back out there after one game. So tough as nails, Carson Campbell. The Rangers happy to have him back.
Carson Campbell, not only that, Luke Ellenis and Andrew Union back in the lineup. We got a great one, Saginaw and Kitchener. Let's throw it down to ice level for pre-game ceremony.
Territory of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Chinootan peoples. We're all treaty people, and our community is inspired and enriched by the enduring knowledge and deep-rooted traditions of the diverse First Nations, Métis, and Inuit in Kitchener today. As we work within this territory to realize a healthy vision for the entire community, we honor the original caretakers of this land and recognize our responsibility to serve as dutiful stewards. Fans, prior to tonight's ceremony, we would like to take a moment and recognize the life of Joe Shearer. Joe was a member of the Kitchener Rangers from 1978 to 1981. His drive, grit, and love for the game will always be remembered and have a lasting impact on the community and the team we cherish. Please pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. The Kitchener Rangers Hockey Club is proud to announce the launch of the Level of Legacy, a new initiative designed to immortalize the most impactful figures in team history. This program will recognize individuals whose contributions shaped championship teams, set league records, and left a generational mark on the organization. Tonight, the Kitchener Rangers are pleased to recognize our first honoree. Please join me in welcoming to center ice Peter DeBoer's special guests. The first members joining us at center ice played an instrumental role in bringing Peter into the organization. Michael Mower, member of the Kitchener Rangers from 1979 to 1982, and served on the board of directors. Ted Scarf, member of the Kitchener Rangers from 1968 to 1971. Ted served numerous times as the president of the Kitchener Rangers Board of Directors. Steve Biankowski, member of the Kitchener Rangers from 1979 to 1981. Steve was the Chief Operating Officer for the Rangers from 2002 to 2020. Steve Spott, from 2001 to 2008, was the Kitchener Rangers assistant coach with Peter. Steve was also the Rangers head coach and general manager from 2008 to 2013 and is now the assistant coach for the Boston Bruins. Welcome Sue and Abby DeBoer, Peter's wife and daughter. And our special guest, Peter DeBoer. From 2001 to 2008, the most successful GM and coach in Rangers history. Pete led the team to 2 OHL championships in 2003 and 2008 and a Memorial Cup in 2003. The Kitchener Rangers team in 2007-2008 remains the last team to host the Memorial Cup while also being crowned champions of their respective league. Peter has gone on to spend 22 seasons as a coach in the National Hockey League with 5 different franchises. He's currently an assistant coach for Team Canada's Olympic team. Fans, please welcome Peter DeBoer to the Level of Legacy.
Thank you. Thank you. Love you guys. I haven't been in this building in a long time. It's a rare opportunity to look back and spend time in the greatest hockey rink in North America with the greatest fans in junior hockey. I only get to do this once. I'm not going to do it normal like everyone else. I'm not going to thank a bunch of people. I thanked a lot of people behind the scenes. The person I am going to thank is the players. We had a lot of players come through here that bled blue and red and white for you guys, and they did it because you guys showed up every Friday night, the Ranger Nation, and they wanted to. Well, thank you. What I am going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to relive the best moment of my hockey career, coaching career, 2003 Memorial Cup, Quebec City, Colisée. The clock's ticking down, and the Ranger Nation absolutely took that building over with ole, 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 ole. Love you guys.
Fans, please remain standing and remove your hat for the American and our national anthem performed by Tate Street Public School.
The last time we had a legacy moment like this was about a year and a half ago. The 1982 Memorial Cup team was here. And what happened in that game? No big deal. Carson Rakoff just scored his 50th goal of the year. in front of those historic Rangers. On a night that Peter DeBoer and you see Steve Spott there are back. Will something historic, something memorable happen like that tonight? We will find out in about 60 minutes of playing time as we get set for the first period. Here are Jason and Dan.
Yeah, you feel something special in the air as Peter DeBoer gets his name sent to the rafters with that level of legacy. And Dan, we're moments away from puck drop, so let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders.
And for the Saginaw Spirit, it'll be Stepan Shugarin, who was lit up for 6 goals against the Brantford Bulldogs and pulled after 2 periods of play in their last game on Sunday. So the 18-year-old, standing 6'4" and second-round OHL import draft selection, will be looking for a bounce back here at the odd tonight. And at the other end, it'll be Christian Kirsch, currently ranking in the top 5 among OHL goaltenders in both goals against average and save percentage. Doing impressive work here with the Rangers here in this first campaign in Kitchener.
And our officials for tonight's game, the referees will be Aaron Neely and Kyle Whiteman, the linesmen Dan Kovacic and Mathieu Lecavalier, excuse me. But yes, this is an exciting night here. Saginaw, as we said, they've started to play a little bit better hockey. Obviously, they dropped a tough one just last week against the Brantford Bulldogs, but they play Kitchener very tough, and the Kitchener Rangers, they are riding high, coming off back-to-back shutouts this past weekend with a shutout on Friday here. Christian Kirsch first, stopping all 19 shots against the Sudbury Wolves, and then Jason Schabel with his first career OHL shutout on Saturday afternoon in Brampton against the Steelhead, stopping all 30 shots.
Record-setting for the Rangers as well, as they both got their first career OHL shutouts as well. And you mentioned the back-to-back, the head-to-head these two teams have squared off in the last season, 2-2 last year. So it just goes to show how tough they play each other as they square off here now on a special night with special Rangers in the building. Let's see whether the Rangers can add to it here with the puck about to drop.
Luke Ellenis chomping at the bit to get at it. Giving some stick work there towards Klepov, but the puck is down and we are underway with some Friday night hockey from the Cathedral of Junior Hockey. There is Klepov, trying to get a shot away, fanned on the opportunity as Barabanov, got it around, but the Rangers trying to get this out on there, and there is Klepov. Klepov behind the net. Klepov, he'll get it to the point, this time here for Valeris. Nice little move that time by the Spirit with Harper, but couldn't get a shot away, as now Andrew Vermeulen will touch the puck for the first time this season. Just got it to about the Saginaw blue line. Now Nick Sema will spin, his shot deflected. Barabanov, he's waiting, trying to go cross ice. He was looking to get it there for his man Levi Harper, who got wiped out before the puck had hit him on the tape. Now Cloutier able to find Levi Harper, another young rookie that's playing exceptional hockey for the Saginaw Spirit. Cameron Reed will slow things down behind his own end. Will drop it back for Alexander Bilecki as Reed will head off and Chromiak will come on. Minute gone here in the first period as Bilecki will head up ice for the Rangers. Gets it to Tanner Lamb. Lamb flips this for Chromiak on the near side as that was cut off by Josh Glavin. Around the Spirit net they go as Cloutier will try to head up ice. And the Rangers, they got some good sticks in the lane. Taking it now is Josh Glavin for the Spirit. Glavin just got enough on the pass, able to find it there for Harmer. Harmer, he's stripped here that time by Romano. Back for Arquette. Arquette fanned on the opportunity as the Spirit will come back the other way with Zhilkin. Zhilkin's pass a little bit too strong for Cloutier, but the puck ended up hitting in the body there, Carson Harmer. Rangers will regroup this time with Jakub Chromiak. Good pace early on here in the first period. Rangers still looking to get their first shot aboard as we've almost played 2 minutes. As Pridham, he's in there for the Rangers. Top goal scorer so far this season for Kitchener. Puck just got away that time from Luke Ellenis, who you know wants to really continue the great end of his season before the season ended for the Rangers. They had that offseason surgery. Spinning away that time is Graydon Jones. Got away from Humphreys as the Spirit. They'll get it on the tape here for Gervais. Gervais, he was swiped off the puck as Caden Schneider does well to find his defense partner in Max DiRiccolo. Schneider will flip this one up off the far wall, but doesn't get it out of his own end as there is a scrum ensuing on the far corner in the Kitchener zone. Good check there by Max DiRiccolo. He's not afraid to lay the body. He took down Miroslav Shatan. And yes, that is the son of former Buffalo Sabre Miroslav Satan, as Jack Pridham's got a rush down. 2-on-1 for Kitchener. Flipping it there, fanning on it. There was Ellis on a great saucer pass from Jack Pridham.
Wouldn't that have been something? His debut game here in 25-26 had the potential goal on his stick until it floated over it.
That was a great rush started by the Rangers with Pridham. You can just see that Ellen is trying to get some of that timing back. That'll come just with some more gameplay.
Yeah, unfortunately a bad skip for him as it hopped over the blade of his stick on that nice feed from the other wing.
Stark will dig the puck free. Goes backhand to forehand. He finds Hayden Ellis behind the Spirit net. Rangers still trying to get a shot on target here for Shurigan. As this is flipped up into the hands of Barabana. Barabana backhander and went wide. Puck is loose as Kirsch will just flip it off for Vermeulen. And then Vermeulen will send it around for Chromiak, as Chromiak thought about heading up ice, felt the pressure from Seema, so he'll regroup behind his own net. Good forecheck being put on by Klepov. As this pass finds Evan Hedrick. Hedrick trying to do a solo man job all by himself. At least got the puck in the Saginaw zone. As Hedrick will one-hand this one, looking to get it back for Abrahansis. James Go able to clear this puck out to center ice. Bilecki from inside his own end for Carson Campbell. Campbell couldn't control the pass, but luckily for him it bounced out of his own end. As there's a battle going on near the Spirit bench for this puck, the Spirit turn it over. Bilecki in over the line. Bilecki will drop it back for Avery Anstis. As Anstis will try to wheel around. Good check laid that time by Matthew Lachar on James Go. Bilecki, a shot from the point, a save made there by Shurigan, and his rebound sent wide that time. Got an injured man down. That's Lachar. He looks in a lot of discomfort. Gets up though, and he's trying to fight through this as the Rangers had a scoring opportunity that gets blown dead as Lachar gives a shove there to Go.
Yeah, I certainly don't want to be taking an early Puri penalty here, well after the whistle, as Lachar gave that shove, and an opportunity here to maybe look at the keys to the game here tonight for both these teams. As we keep an eye on Lachar at the bench, and you mentioned the rookies, Jason, and they've got 6 of them on the active roster, 5 of which are in tonight's hockey game. And Klepov, Levi Harper, who you mentioned, Brady Pepoy, Trevor Thoyer, as well as Blake Barnes, the 7th defenseman here. So that just goes to show how much the first years are contributing to this roster. They'll certainly want to protect the net like they did there. We'll get to the other ones in the next break in action.
As the Rangers won the faceoff, Tanner Lamb tried to backhand it back up to the point. Romano digs it free. It'll sit here for Schneider. Schneider shot, scores! What a rip that time for Caden Schneider as Kitchener opens the scoring as Schneider gets his 2nd of the season.
Impressive looking snapshot there to get the goal scoring started for Kitchener. Saginaw's caught scrambling a little bit. That pass got through the last forward there back for the Saginaw Spirit as their defensive zone coverage crumbled. And that opened up a wide shooting lane, and Schneider just let her rip. And it beats Shurigan. And the Rangers go up by 1 less than 5 minutes into the hockey game.
Well, you know what, Caden Schneider, he's on that last defense line with Max Giracolo, but you can see why UC Hocus and his coaching staff trust him. Had that open ice, had to trust his shot, and he puts a beautiful one blocker side past Stepan Shurigan, and Kitchener's up 1-0. They're looking for more as Arquette out front for Lamb. Shot, he sent it just wide. And Schneider will find the puck and keep it in. Back for Lamb, out in front. No Ranger is in the slot though, as the Spirit want to get off with Barabanov now. Here is Barabanov trying to get around Giracolo. Giracolo will just do what he does, pins his man up against the wall, and the Rangers get the puck back. As Arquette will backhand it just inside the Saginaw end as Kitchener wants to go for a line change. The Rangers, they took maybe about 5 minutes to get into this hockey game, but they have found their form as Barabanov had to just bounce off his stick as Reed wins the battle. And will, with Chromac clipping it here off the wall now for Humphreys. Humphreys, that saucer pass or flip up his glove down at the Saginaw blue line by Hayden Barch. Pridham, he wants the stretch pass for Alanis, and Alanis had to revert back. He's looking for a backhander for Christian Humphreys. And the Spirit able to clear. Shatan just out of Shatan's reach, but Shatan will get it back. Here's Miroslav Satan. His pass hits some Ranger sticks as Kitchener wants to head up ice with Pridham. As taking it now is Cameron Reed for Alanis. Alanis trying to drive around Barch. Alanis still with it. Alanis gets it to the point now for Cameron Reed. the Ranger captain. He'll step in. Shot that one fired wide by Reed, and Humphreys on the backhand keeps it in the Saginaw zone. Christian Humphreys, the Colorado Avalanche prospect. He'll go behind the net, out in front, off a Saginaw body. Chromiak for Pridham. Back to Chromiak, shot, good pad save by Sherman. Let's score on the rebound. It's the Avalanche prospect, Christian Humphreys, and he has the insurance marker, 2-0 Rangers.
Humphreys with his 7th goal of the year, as the Rangers have now 2 goals in as many minutes to open up this hockey game. Again, a one-timer sets up a big rebound. Shurigan can't control the shot. Bounces his way back into the low slot, and it's Humphreys, the Rangers' leading points getter, adding to his total. And Kitchener off to a fantastic start. They've doubled their lead.
The offense for the Kitchener Rangers right now coming down like an avalanche, so it may as well have been capped off by the Colorado prospect. As Christian Humphreys, you said, Dan, 7th of the season, and the Rangers, this is the Rangers team a lot of our town was expecting to see. Everyone's healthy back in the lineup. They're looking scary good. Just 5 minutes gone here in the first period. Carson Campbell with some speed up ice for Kitchener. Goes out to the far side, will backhand it into the Saginaw end. Couldn't play it cleanly. There was Glavin, but this puck is flipped up and off the target as they were looking for Zhilkin. Now Carson Campbell avoids the check there from Zhilkin. Campbell trying to muster that one up ice, and Campbell laying the body as well on Kluche. Spirit wanted to get one back. Harmer laid a check as well on Carson Campbell. But, man, you can see Carson Campbell. He missed stepping on this ice here at the Memorial Auditorium. Step there from Ellis. Drop it back. Hayden Ellis shot. And that's a good save and a must-have save by Stefan Shurigan. As we will head to break as the Rangers have themselves a 2-0 lead over the Saginaw Spirit. You're watching Hefner Kitchener Rangers Hockey on Rogers TV.
For over 90 years, Learners has served the legal needs of clients in our community. No matter the size of your enterprise or transaction, our business law group can help you grow your business, build on your success, and get the deal done.
Culligan Water has been Waterloo Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love.
Aging Well brings you conversations with experts to help empower your golden years with enthusiasm and optimism. Don't miss Aging Well with Angela and Alice Liu, Mondays at 7 p.m.
Tonight we're going to give you memorable milestones in Peter DeBoer's career, and not just his coaching career. Look at this. This is from the Memorial Cup when he played with the Windsor Spitfires. That is him on the right. We're in the A. In the center, that's Adam Graves. Adam Graves and Peter actually ended up as co-owners of the Oshawa Generals later in their careers. But there you see the Windsor Spitfires player, Peter DeBoer. Back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Sean. And that's a deep dive to find, but you could see Peter DeBoer not only had the abilities to lead behind the bench, but could do it on the ice. As a Spirit, we're looking to get it there for Klepov. And Barabanov with a good shot. That's blocked by Romano. But now the Spirit, they're trying to get a quick response here. Barabanov shot, and he just fired that one wide. As the Spirit will wheel this one around the Ranger net. Taking it now is Nick Sema to the point. As Jones, he'll throw one through that's deflected and bounces right in front of Luca Romano. Now Tanner Lamb, and he'll just roll this out of his own zone. Barabanov backhands it around, taking it this time. Here is Blake Barnes. Got it for Barabanov. As Bilecki intercepts it. A lot of ice to work with here for Tanner Lamb. Another 2-on-1 for the Rangers. Here to Arquette's shot, and that's a good save made there by Shurigan. May have got the post as well. But Shurigan's bounced back with some 2 clutch saves. We get an offside call.
Jakub Chromiak and Jack Pridham picking up the assists on the last goal for the Rangers. Luke Romano, Tanner Lamb on the first one. So the spreading scoring around here tonight. And interesting enough, it's Caden Schneider opening tonight's scoring, slotting into lineup with Jacob Zhu in the midst of serving his 4-game suspension as well. So it'll be interesting to watch how that one pans out. You think Zhu still has the edge, but, you know, Caden Schneider, sometimes it's tough to take a player that might be potentially hot in the lineup, and if he keeps on putting up goals like this, tough for a task of defender to do that, but even so.
Well, you got to take advantage of your opportunities, and so far so good for Caden Schneider as he opened the scoring with his 2nd of the season. Flying through there for Saginaw was Liam Storch. As Diricolo trying to glide this puck around, as the Spirit will help out too with Trevor Thoyer. Down low, on the far side at the point. As the Spirit, they get it to Valeris. Valeris shot, that's blocked in front by their own man. Taking it there was Thoyer. Valeris, they get it out on the far side with a step. Here's Harper, Levi Harper. He runs into a wall that time. That's Max Diricolo. Now once again to Harper. Harper, he falls down, can't get a sliding through feed on as Caden Schneider gets his stick on it, and Evan Hedrick will chip this one out. There's a penalty going up against Saginaw. That'll be against Carson Harmer, and the first power play of the game will go with the Kitchener Rangers interference call against Harmer.
Yeah, the Saginaw Spirit captain's going to head off after a pretty easy call for the official to make there. Here's another look at the Rangers blue line just as Hedrick chips it up to himself, and he went airborne on that one. And check that. We're in the number 13, and you see the numbers there. The split stats for each team's special teams. Rangers power play, clicking along at 9th overall in the Ontario Hockey League. Saginaw sputtering a bit in terms of the penalty kill, 19th out of 20 in the league.
It is much, Spirit's penalty kill is much better away from Saginaw, Michigan, where they're 9th overall away, but it's their penalty kill at home, which is worst in the OHL. That's put them in this pickle, 19th overall. Christian Humphreys, who added the insurance marker. One-timer for Pridham. Save made that time by Shurigan. And the Spirit will cycle this one out and get a friendly bounce to get it to center ice before Cameron Reed can regroup in his own end. And Cameron Reed taking his time. Reed will head up ice now with Luca Romano. Romano's pass here for Elenis. Elenis will kick it back, but they just say that was offside.
Yeah, he's looking at the official and wondering, oh, was that me? And yes, sir, it was, as Christian Humphreys was just a touch offside, pretty clear from our vantage point up here in the booth. So they'll bring it outside the Saginaw Spirit blue line to drop the puck on this one. But if the Rangers certainly couldn't have asked for a better start in this hockey game here tonight, sitting a point outside of first place in the OHL Midwest Division with 3 games in hand against the Owen Sound Attack. So a good start this weekend will obviously be a boost of confidence and a boost in the standings as well.
Yeah, that puck went out of play for the whistle. But it's a good point, Dan, too, because Owen Sound right now, they're first in the Midwest. They're idle tonight. They don't have a game. So Kitchener knows if they can pick up those valuable 2 points, they will once again be back in first place in the Midwest Division as they're trying to climb their way up, not just in the Midwest Division, but overall in the Western Conference. Barabanov wins the faceoff for the Spirit, and Saginaw will just send this the length of the ice. Jilkin trying to put on his speed burst, but didn't really try it, as now Cameron Reed will start a rush out. Here's Reed weaving his way through Spirit defenders, drops it back for Romano, then to Elenis. Elenis shot, that one goes wide. It'll come to Christian Humphreys. Humphreys will cycle it around behind, out there for Romano. Didn't get all the good wood on it. That leads to a Saginaw clear with 59 seconds left on this Rangers power play. As Pridham, he finds it on the far side for Christian Humphreys. Humphreys back to Jack Pridham. Pridham then for Humphreys. As Humphreys finds Romano. Romano, Reed a drive from the point. Save made there by Shurigan. Now Romano, the Islander prospect. Romano, he'll go for it. That's blocked in front. As Romano gets it back for his teammates and Reed, and then Humphreys. Humphreys a shot. That one goes just wide. Took a good bounce off the end wall, and Saginaw just got enough to clear it with Sema.
Just some miscommunication there. Nearly ran into his own teammate there on that set.
As Humphreys, he goes cross ice. Arquette able to stop and control the puck on his backhand. Then to Bilecki. Here's Hayden Ellis. Ellis a shot. Save made there by Shurigan. Ellis fights in the slot. Couldn't get a shot away, but gloving it down there was Bilecki. Final seconds of this power play. Pridham off the stick of James Go, and that may do it for Kitchener having chances on their first power play of the game. Humphreys will keep this puck in the Saginaw zone, but we're back to even strength. As tying up his man there is Josh Glavin. And behind for Chromiak shot, and a bullet that went just wide, and a great feed from Hayden Ellis.
Rangers able to get 3 shots on goal during that man advantage, and then had some secondary chances with some big rebounds again. As the puck control seems to be still a bit of an issue, and this definitely played a factor in the Rangers' goals here tonight.
Oh, sliding in hard there was Go, but he pops up nicely, which is great to see. Now James Go will scoop up the puck for the Spirit. Gets it to Shatan. Shatan goes cross ice. The Saginaw can't touch. They would have been offside, so that gives a free possession back to Kitchener. As Tanner Lamb will wheel this puck in slowly to the Saginaw. As Shurigan had to come out and play it. No Spirit was willing to touch it. Vermeulen will take the puck at center ice. Wait for everyone to get back on side. Now Diricolo for Schneider. As backhanded back into the Saginaw end. Stark gave chase for it before it was sent around. That time by Valeris. And this puck pops up into the netting, out of play.
Well, it's the first of two at home for the Rangers, as they'll also welcome the Kingston Frontenacs here on Sunday afternoon for a matinee affair starting at 2 p.m. and obviously a special game as well, as it's the commemorative game that's always given lofty status here in Kitchener and recognized for how well they do it here in Kitchener in terms of the Remembrance Day pregame ceremonies.
Absolutely. It's one of the most classiest ceremonies done, and I don't know if you've seen the jerseys, Dan, but these are some of the best Remembrance Day jerseys I think the Rangers have really ever unveiled.
Pretty sharp. You know, obviously the one that turned into the third jersey is still my favorite, but granted that was unveiled at the Memorial Cup, but even so.
Romano. He'll play this puck from the point, able to find Carson Campbell. Campbell is shot. That may have hit the outside of the post. A good rip by Campbell. Now Campbell will get it back. He backhands it looking for Arquette. Arquette trying to get away there from Jones. Here to Campbell. Campbell the shot. Good glove save made by Shurigan.
Nice shot there as Campbell came across and let a good low hard shot fly, and we already saw Elenis set up for a nice opportunity, and Campbell, as he gets a stick tap to the shins, looking to get in on the scoring action here early, as it's the feed from Arquette, finding Campbell in stride and look to go low glove that time.
You know, Shurigan's given up 2 early goals, but he's bounced back with about 3 or 4 killer saves. Couple with the pad, and then that great glove save to not give up a rebound, which, as you've alluded to, Dan, before, a little bit of rebound control issues here in the first period.
Well, the Rangers peppering the Saginaw goal, 12 shots already in this opening frame, but again, Saginaw just mustering the 2 so far on Kristen Kirsch.
A lot of young players on this Spirit team, but they've had some success. They picked up a win against Windsor most recently, and of course, you know, their last game they dropped a tough one against the #1 team in the CHL, those Brantford Bulldogs, who still, by the way, haven't lost a game in regulation. As now Diracola, Anstis, and that's a dangerous hit there by Hayden Barch. As Diracolo doesn't like it, delayed penalty. And now Diracolo's going to drop the glove to defend his teammate against Hayden Barch, and Diracolo ragdolling Barch before the linesmen break it up.
And you see Harper skating by Anstis. It's a good thing Anstis got up as quickly as he did. That's a good sign, but even as he did so, Harper had a bit of a tug for him. I'm not sure what that's about, but Diracolo standing up for his teammate there as he took that hard hit from behind, and you'll see it on the replay. The elbow was clearly up by Barch as he came in, and back to Barch, and there is another look at it. And Diracolo, obviously we know what his role is on the ice, aside from being a defender. He's defending his teammates there, and Anstis coming over and showing some appreciation for his teammate.
Yeah, that was a dangerous hit laid there by Hayden Barch on Avery Anstis, who wasn't anticipating it at all. But Diracolo did what he had to do to defend his teammate, and that'll be an early end of the first period for Diracolo, as you would expect.
As he skates off the stick taps from his teammates, and certainly we'll get a few more at the end of this period as he skates off now to the dressing room. With 6:25 to go here in the first, and they're getting another look at it here on the video board at the odd, and fans are reacting as you would and as we did.
Surprised they didn't look at it on the iPad, but nonetheless they did not. The 2 minutes is up there for the instigator on Max Diracolo. So it'll result in a Saginaw power play coming up. Kitchener's got to get enough players. They only have the 2 on the ice. They're both defensemen in Reed and Promack. Romano and Pridham will come out. So Saginaw will get their first power play of the game with 6:25 left to go in the first period. The Spirit win the faceoff. Harper lost it. Look out! Short-handed breakaway for Jack Pridham. Breakaway, showtime. Blocker save made by Shurigan.
Nearly had his 3rd shorthanded goal of the season already. Jack Pridham can do a lot of damage even when they're down a man. They nearly made it 3-0.
Yeah, he got his first shorthanded goal in that breakaway goal against Guelph just a few weeks ago. Barabanov drops it back for Zhilkin. And Romano trying to run. Zhilkin rebound in front. Then Barabanov bangs it on in. Kirsch made the save initially, but Barabanov scores on the power play, and the Spirit cut the Rangers' lead in half.
8th goal of the season for him as he cuts this Rangers lead in half. Unfortunate sequence for the Rangers. They come close to the breakaway with Pridham short-handed, and as it usually goes, the opposition goes the other way. A nice setup and an easy tap-in as Kirsch made the initial stop. Got through him, though, and with it sitting in the crease, easily backhanded into the back of the net on the follow-up chance. So power play goal for the Saginaw Spirit, and we've got ourselves a 2-1 hockey game now with 5:57 left in the first.
Yeah, a lot went wrong for Kitchener when the Spirit got that power play going in the Ranger end. Romano tried to take a body check there on Zhilkin. He got the worst of wear, and then Igor Barabanov gets the Spirit on the board.
4th power play goal of the season for him, and 11th point on the power play. 11 of his 24 now coming by way of the man advantage.
As the Rangers just turned that puck over ill-advisedly in their own end as Pet Boy. He's trying to feed it through and now helping out as well as Liam Storch, but the Rangers able to get this puck free, and now Jack Pridham tried to corral it, couldn't do it. Here's a breakaway for Humphries. Breakaway showtime, and another big glove save made by Shurigan.
Another defensive breakdown for the Saginaw Spirit. Back-to-back breakaways for the Rangers in as many shifts.
Those are 2 scary players, and already Humphries with the goal. He was looking to get his 2nd of the game, but Shurigan standing tall and really keeping the Spirit in this game with his 5th big save of this first period.
Good identification there by the Rangers on the stretch pass, hitting it tape to tape for those quality scoring chances.
Ellis taken off the puck there by Jones as Kluche tried to drop it back, but turn it over. Here's Ellis, tried to jam it on through where the Rangers. There's Reed with a backhander, and it goes wide. Ellis tried to throw it out in front, didn't hit the target. As now the Spirit will slow things down, turn it over. Here's Vermeulen. Vermeulen feeds it to Ellis, and once again Shurigan's massive save. My goodness, how many breakdowns are the Spirit gonna have?
A 2-1-0 from in tight, and again the Rangers can't capitalize.
As the Rangers will get this puck behind their own net. Now Romano. They want to stretch pass again just off the mark for Vermeulen as Saginaw will send it back in, and that'll be an icing call against the Spirit.
And even though...
As we head to break with the Rangers up 2-1 on the Saginaw Spirit. You're watching Hefner Kitchener Rangers Hockey on Rogers TV.
David Prang from the Chamber of Commerce Brantford Brant speaks with community members about events and organizations that impact the city of Brantford and the county of Brant. Chamber TV, Thursdays at 6:30 p.m., right here on Rogers TV.
Coaching the Kitchener Rangers, Pete DeBoer was coach with Detroit and Plymouth. They were the Junior Red Wings, then the Whalers. Started there in '95. He is a 2-time Matt Layden Award winner. That's the Coach of the Year in the OHL. Look at those sweet colors. 2-time award winner in '99 and 2000. Back up to you guys.
Not too many guys can make teal look good, eh?
I mean, it was the mid-'90s where that was kind of the flagship of the mid-'90s.
The Charlotte Hornets the starter jacket, you know, along the same lines. That was mid.
Still great, I'm not even going to lie.
You probably still have one.
Fortunately don't. Do have a Larry Johnson short Hornets jersey.
Oh, there you go.
But the Spirit, they're trying to sting back Speaking of Hornets, here against the Rangers and tie this game as they get a chance of trying to wrap it around there was Kluche. Didn't have the angle as Carson Campbell stood his ground. And Valeris, his pass was broken up that time by Arquette. Rangers can't touch, they'd be offside. Kluche, nice stretch pass, taking it there for Carson Harmer. Harmer out in front, he was looking to get it to Valeris, couldn't hit the target. Back the other way go the Rangers. Here's Luca Romano. Romano's shot, didn't get all of it. It hit the shins of Kluche. As the Rangers will take it, Lamb out in front for Reed, shot, score! Big blast by the Ranger captain, and their 2-goal lead is back. It's 3-1 Rangers.
Cameron Reed with the second tally of the year, and he had all day to think about what he wanted to do there as he was left completely untouched, trailing the play, and it's an easy feed there for this one-timer. Hammers it home as it was Tanner Lamb getting the perfect pass over to him, serving it up on a tee, and he drives it home. Cameron Reed, the captain, doubling the Rangers' lead again.
Cameron Reed with a shot that was too hot to handle and too cold to hold as it rattled around the back of the Spirit net. And that was one that Shurigan just couldn't get a hold of. And Kitchener gets their 2-goal lead back. Spirit want a quick response, go with a shot that was steered wide by Kirsch. As now the Spirit trying to dig it free. Chromiak helping out as well for Kitchener. As the Rangers, they want to continue and finish this first period strong the way they have. Barabanov gets it this time to Klepov. Klepov able to find it for Glavin. Down for Sema, he couldn't control it as Humphreys and Barabanov battle. Rangers will backhand this the other way behind their own end as Jakub Chromiak, he couldn't get it out of his own end. Pridham's muscled up against the near board. Now Klepov shot that hits Reed's shins. And now still, Klepov trying to come through and win this puck back. But the Rangers will get it with Humphreys. Humphreys will roll it out here, and there's going to be an offside call against Kitchener.
You have to appreciate the body position that Ellis was trying to jostle off stride James Go on, too. Kind of watching it ahead of the play. And credit Go for sticking with him and just ever so slightly pushing Ellis into the offside position to begin with. So made it a little tougher for Ellis having to get back on and get that pass in stride, too. It's the game within the game we love to see. And the Rangers, again, trying to execute those stretch passes. It's worked out already a couple times this period. Produced a couple quality opportunities on goal. That time, looking for it again. Nearly had it.
There's been 2 breakaways for the Kitchener Rangers. One of them was shorthanded, and 2 2-on-1s the Kitchener Rangers have had.
And Cameron Arquette showing good anticipation, nearly had a third one. Had the puck not bounced over his stick at the last second at the Rangers' blue line.
I guess it can count the Vermeulen one that he intercepted right in the slot, just couldn't get it on target.
The mini break, right? The mini breakaway.
So 3 breakaways, 2 2-on-1s. This Kitchener Rangers team with 3 goals in the first period, playing some of their best hockey to start a game we've seen all season. And I want to do it tonight with Peter DeBoer getting honored, and a big body check laid there by Larch. Backhands this one out for Bilecki as the Rangers with Anstis. Once again to Bilecki as Bilecki will drive in. Bilecki looking for a shooting lane, so he'll go behind the Spirit net. Bilecki out front. Hedrick a shot. That's blocked as coming on through to make that block for Saginaw was Trevor Thoyer. Campbell one-hands this puck by his man as Campbell nearly got it back, but the Spirit will take it with Blake Barnes. Now up ice go the Spirit with a lot of speed for Zhilkin. Too much speed, he lost control of the puck. Stark gets it to Anstis. And to Cameron Reed. As Reed will come in over the line. Reed battling with a bunch of Spirit sticks. Taking it is Vermeulen. Vermeulen couldn't get a shot away. Vermeulen goes down to the ice, and a battle ensues here behind the end wall in the Saginaw. But the Rangers, they'll dig it free. At the point to Chromiak. Then to Reed. Reed a drive. That one goes just wide. Stark crashing through. Hayden Ellis helping out. Who's got the puck? It's going to be Jakub Chromiak for Kitchener. As Chromiak, nice move there, but got poked off it just as he made that little deke. And that leads the Spirit to clear. Under a minute to go here with 44 seconds exactly left in the first period. A first period that is flown by. Rangers get it back here for Jakub Chromiak. Out in front that time was Hayden Ellis. He got upended by his man in Klepov. As the Spirit with Sema. He couldn't put a move there on Vermeulen. And this puck gets out of play.
And a nice snag there from Jason Schabel on the bench there. The backup goaltender tonight as it flipped his way. There's a nice little look at him here. And it's worth noting with Cameron Reed picking up the 3rd goal of tonight's hockey game, he's creeping in on 100 career OHL points. Give him 91 now with that latest tally. There's a good look at Jason Schabel having a bit of a chuckle there at the end of the bench and coming off a good weekend himself too, a memorable one.
Spirit win the faceoff. Jones from a sharp angle. That goes off Romano. Jones gets it back out in front. That time was Sema, and once again, Rangers able to get a good block on. Showcasing a bit of a block party. That puck nearly bounced back for Arquette in the Saginaw zone. Final 10 seconds of the first period. Well, the Rangers have a chance to get one more rush. Well, they're trying as Romano at center ice. Looking to flip it there for Arquette for the Spirit. Shut that down. That puck's just out of the reach of Sema as the horn goes to end the first period. And Sema takes a punch at Bilecki. And that's not what you want to have if you're Chris Lazary and this Spirit team who's down 2 goals after 20 minutes.
And the officials just saying, you know what, guys, just skate off, forget about it. Bilecki's more worse for wear as he took that jab right in the chops. You knew something was going to happen as they met along the far sideboards as the horn sounded, and that was the result. No penalties on the play, well, I don't think anyways, as the officials converge on the scores table, but we're up after 20 minutes of play with the Rangers up 3-1.
Let's take a look at the shots on goal after 1 period, Dan.
16-6 in favor of the home side. 3 goals to their name, the Saginaw Spirit, despite just those 6 shots on goal, able to get one past Christian Kirsch on the power play. And they've got the most dangerous lead in hockey heading into the middle frame here in Kitchener.
And when we come back from break, our Sean Fafaro will be joined by the Deerfield Beach, Florida native and 3rd in points in the OHL, Saginaw Spirit member Nikita Klepov, as you're watching Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV.
The Village Caterer provides catering and services for all occasions, from business lunches to backyard barbecues, and to large events like weddings and community events. Let the Village Caterer help you make your event one you and your guests will never forget. Culligan Water has been Waterloo Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love.
Just like any other job, to succeed in the NHL, you gotta take care of business.
You need to know how to motivate fellow employees. Come on, boys! It's important to be goal-oriented.
Assist team members whenever possible. Always put the customer first.
Listen to this builder. This place can't believe what they just saw.
Hey, beats a desk job.
What's wrong with a desk job?
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Hi, Pastor Mark here. Join us each and every week on Sundays. All are welcome, no exceptions. That is St. Peter's Church, every Sunday at 11 a.m. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV. Rangers leading by a score of 3-1 at the end of 1 period of play. Shout out to Saginaw, Michigan. I know there's a watch party at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Saginaw. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm joined at ice level by Nikita Klepov from the Saginaw Spirit. And Nikita, how important was it to get that 1 goal back in the first?
Yeah, we obviously are behind right now for the 2 goals, trying to get a goal right now in the second and trying to win this game.
You're on pace for over 100 points in your first season in the OHL. What's going so right for you?
My teammates, I think it's the biggest thing in my game right now. Helped me a lot, trying not to focus on my personal goals, trying to play for the team.
I mean, I know you don't have the personal goals, but it is your draft year. Do you think about that at all when you're having such a good offense?
No, not really. As I said, I'm just trying to be the best player for the team, not to think about my personal life right now.
How are you enjoying your time in Saginaw so far, not just with the team, but with the community? They love their hockey.
Yeah, that's best fans in the league, I think, and our group group is pretty close right now, so I enjoy it to play here.
Nikita, thanks for taking time with us, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with a special interview with the Level of Legacy member himself, Peter DeBoer, right after this.
The Village Caterer provides catering and services for all occasions, from business lunches to backyard barbecues, and to large events like weddings and community events. Let the Village Caterer help you make your event one you and your guests will never forget.
Hey everyone, it's Sean Fafaro, and I'm thrilled to tell you that This Week in Rangers Nation is back for season number 2. I'll have everything you want with your East Ave Blue, special interviews, features, highlights, and more. Catch This Week in Rangers Nation every Friday.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties, like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive Drive Sober.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will endeavor to describe the feeling on this ship.
The American ship is just trailing the Blue Nose.
Angus should never have agreed to this last race. She's too old.
Eddie!
Coming in there! Johnson, halyard back! Get to it, man!
Appears there's some kind of difficulty.
Seems to be something loose up there, I believe.
The topsail's foul!
Just once more, little girl, and you can rest.
She's holding her lead!
Her last race and still undefeated, the Blue Nose out of Lunenburg, Nova Scotia was fastest in the world for almost 20 years.
Welcome back to Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV. The Rangers leading by a score of 3-1 on Level of Legacy night for Peter DeBoer, and I've got the man himself right beside me. Coach Peter DeBoer is back here. Let me ask you, plain and simple, how does it feel to be back at the Odd, Coach?
Oh, wow. Combination of emotional, grateful, and just humbling. You know, it's such an iconic arena with the greatest junior hockey fans in the world. I haven't been here in a long time, and it's magical.
I could see it in your eyes when you came out on the ice, and every fan in this place immediately took to their feet and gave you a standing ovation. How did that feel?
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often in my business in some of the places I've been. So, you know what, just, that realization of that special moment in time we had for those 7 years that I was here, and the great things those teams did, and the beauty of Kitchener is a lot of the same people watch those teams. You know, it's generational fans here. Their grandfathers and fathers took them, then they bring their kids. So everybody remembers the history of the team.
Dan Lebold told me once that it's bigger than hockey, that this is like family here, and the way you explain that is like that. So when you're out there in that ceremony and you're sharing it with those people that were instrumental in bringing you here, and I know you're up in the box with people that are important, what does that mean to you to share this evening with all of those people?
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is what it's all about. I've coached in the NHL for 17 years, but there's a real purity to junior hockey, and there's an even more of a purity to Kitchener Ranger junior hockey. Community-owned team. Everything goes back into the community or the players or charities. Just a phenomenal example of how a business should run and how a team should embrace their community.
This auditorium has changed a lot since you've been here. Obviously, there's more seats, media, the team facilities are different. But if you look to your right there, Pete, that is still your bench. And that's exactly the same bench. So when you look where you stood for so long and you're just a few feet away from it, what do you feel right now?
You know, it's hard to believe. You know, it's so long ago, but when I look over there, I feel like it was just yesterday too. So it was awesome, just awesome to be back. It's awesome to see all the old friends. Steve Spott, drove through 2.5 hours of traffic. He's playing in Toronto tomorrow night to get here tonight. I got all kinds of people. So just a magical night that will live in my memory forever.
I don't know if this is a difficult or easy question for you, but if you know somebody whose son maybe or grandson is drafted to come here to Kitchener, how can you explain to them what it means to be a Kitchener Ranger?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think you have to experience it. If someone told me what it was like to work here for 7 years and live in the community, they wouldn't have done it justice. You have to experience it. You have to realize how the Rangers' blood goes through the entire community wherever you go. The importance and the ownership players have in the community to uphold certain standards because it's a community-owned team. I mean, it's the whole experience. And then coming here on a Friday night in the Ranger Nation, as bringing the energy that they bring every time they pack this rink, you have to experience it.
Nothing beats Friday night in Kitchener, right?
Nothing beats Friday night in Kitchener.
Last question for you, and this is a bit of a selfish question. I always said if I had you here, I was going to ask you this question, that I know that when you're in the NHL and you're coaching, you've got some guys on the other team that were your guys in junior, and you're coaching against someone like Paul Maurice, who is such an instrumental part of your life. How do you compartmentalize the person, the human that you have a relationship with versus the player or the coach on the other side of the ice?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I did it for years at the NHL level, coaching against Gregory Campbell and Derek Roy, Mike Richards.
Because your guys are your guys, right?
Yeah, Mike Richards beat us in a Stanley Cup final when I was in New Jersey. So, honestly, when you're in the game, you're not in that moment. But when you're in the handshake line or the series is over, you can have a human moment, and there's always that connection. Because of what we did here and we won, there's always that connection.
Coach, thank you so much for taking time catching up with us. Congratulations on the level of legacy, and it's so great to see you back home in Kitchener.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
We'll be back with more right after this.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
My name is Chef D. Most days, you'll find me feeding high-profile personalities in even higher-pressure kitchens. But now I'm taking an ordinary food truck and a slice of summer to get out of my comfort zone and into parts of the community normally out of my reach. It's a gamble, but if I can use my passion for food to help out some amazing folks, it'll be worth the road trip.
The Cruise TV brings you the people and stories behind the coolest cars on the road. Don't miss the Cruise TV, Sundays at 7 p.m.
Thursdays.
These cases are hard. It's okay if you don't want to fight, because we are going to fight for you.
We have to be able to say we did everything we could.
Every move we make is being scrutinized.
He needs to pay for what he did.
Some things in life you can't run from.
I'm going to make sure that you spend the rest of your days in a 6x8 cell.
Law & Order Thursday, all new, 8/7 Central on City TV.
Welcome back to Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey. As you see some of the young Timbits getting their action on, but we thought we should let you know that the city of Cambridge is welcoming Santa Claus to town. The Cambridge Santa Claus Parade is Saturday, November the 15th, starting at 6 p.m. This holiday tradition continues as a special nighttime parade, one of few in Ontario, where the twinkle and glow of magical parade floats, groups and bands sparkle in the eyes for all to see. The parade route is Dunbar Road to Langs Drive. The Cambridge Food Bank will be collecting non-perishable food items if you're able to donate. For more information, visit cambridge.ca/Santa. And we will take a break and be back with some more Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy, or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
Behold Emily Carr, painter, about to encounter the force that will consume her life.
How tightly they sealed their secrets from me, humble and pleading before the great trees, awaiting the invitation from the Spirit to come meet me halfway. Nothing is still now, everything is alive. At last, I knew I must see through the eye of the totem itself, the mythic eye of the forest.
Seldom able to live by her brush, before she died in 1945, Emily Carr was in the first rank of Canadian painters.
This is my country. What I want to express is here, and I love it. Amen.
Have you ever thought about just how much politics you speak about just in your own kitchen or in your living room? Or how many important ideas are shared or solutions to some of the world's biggest problems? Well, you're in luck, because I'm inviting some of my friends to come and speak to me about everyday politics, and I'm bringing my living room to you. So join me on Wednesday evenings from 6 until 7 for Everyday Politics with Laura May Lindo.
Welcome back to Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV. The Rangers are taking the ice, and I made it all the way up into the celebration box for Peter DeBoer, and I caught up with Steve Spott. Steve, how great is it to be home in Kitchener?
It really does feel like home, Sean. Coming in, seeing so many old friends and faces, and just seeing some of the fans from back when I was here, not only by myself, but then with Pete. It's just wonderful to be home and to see this building, the crowd, and obviously meet the coaches. It's special.
I talked to Pete earlier today about what it meant to be on the level of legacy, and the first thing he said is that this doesn't happen without guys like Steve Spott, and he mentioned you by name, and all those people that were out there for the ceremony. What does it mean to you to be surrounded by that group? Really, what's an individual night, but it's a group effort.
It always has been, and it starts with Steve Biankowski, his vision, obviously Ted Scarf, Mike Moore. They were the gentlemen that brought Pete here, and I was lucky to be a part of that program, and to win 2 OHL championships, a Memorial Cup, and be a part of this organization is something that my family will never forget, and to see what happened tonight for Pete and his family is a memory that I'll cherish for a long time.
I know it's been a long time since you've been out on this ice. You took 2 steps on that ice, and this crowd erupted at seeing you. How did that feel?
Special, and that's what this city is. That's what Kitchener-Waterloo is. When you come into this building, you're always considered an alumnus of this program, and just to be around the building and walk around and see the people, as I said, it's a very special night.
Once a Ranger, always a Ranger, right, Spotter?
Absolutely. So just an honor having us here, Sean, and I know I'll speak for Pete, just really, really grateful to the entire community.
So great to have you back. You enjoy the rest of the celebration, and best of luck. We're rooting for you in Boston.
Thanks so much, Sean.
All right, here are Jason and Dan with the second period.
Thank you very much, Sean. Great chat there with Steve Spott, former Kitchener Rangers assistant and head coach. But we'll begin this second period with some 4-on-4 hockey, offsetting roughing penalties at the end of the first period to Bilecki and Sema.
So Bilecki certainly took the worst of the two shots that were delivered by each player.
So Barbana with a lot of open ice to work with. Will one-hand this one back. Got it to the point for Glavin, who sent it back. Puck bounced off the equipment there of Christian Kirsch, and it came out in front again, but Cameron Reed able to scoop up the puck. There's Reed, kicks it out on the wing for Pridham. Out front for Romano. He tried to go top shelf, just sent it too high as this puck is just flying around on the fresh ice.
Yeah, with that lanky 6'4" frame, he's trying to get it up and over the left pad and trapper glove of the Saginaw Spirit netminder. Just lofted it a little too high. They're onside. I thought they looked a little off.
They stay onside as Cameron Reed will go for a skate. Drop it back at the point for Jack Pridham. Pridham into the high slot. Nice deke by Pridham, and he throws one on. Save made by Shurigan. That's Klepov, who you heard from in our first intermission. Nikita Klepov, he's trying to get going. Klepov over the line. Klepov, he throws a shot on, but into the chest of Christian Kirsch.
An end-to-end rush that Christian Kirsch effectively shuts down with a nice save. An easier stop there after his initial one to start this period, as he had to deal with a bit of a tough hop right in his crease. The Rangers doing what they can to get in and impede that end-to-end stride. And then the shot on goal for the Saginaw Spirit stopped at the top of the crease by Christian Kirsch, the San Jose Sharks prospect.
As Dimajilkin kicked out of the face-off circle. As Kluche tried to win it, but the Rangers will get puck possession with still 48 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. Both teams kind of flourishing with a lot of that open ice to work with, especially with the fresh ice surface. As Reed gets hit from behind, that time by Jilkin. Campbell flying, and Campbell gets up in, and that's going to be a penalty coming up against Saginaw. Easy tripping call going against Graydon Jones.
Yeah, so the Rangers will get their first power play of the game, albeit an abbreviated one.
It's a 4-on-3 power play too.
So with 18:30 remaining in the early stages of this frame, it's Carson Campbell having recently rejoined up, and good thing that his head didn't go fully into the skate of his teammate in the corner as he hit the deck.
So it's a 4-on-3 for the next 31 seconds, but Kitchener will try to make the Spirit pay quickly.
Stand corrected. It's the second power play opportunity for the Rangers. 3 shots on goal in their first advantage in the first.
As here's Luke Ellenis. Ellenis looked for Humphreys, thought about the shot, thought about the one-timer again. There was Reed, and Humphreys back. One-timer that time by Reed. Blocking it out in front were the Spirit with Gervais.
And they hit the back of the boot of Romano's skate.
As Reed, no look pass for Ellenis, shot save made there by Shurigan, and he's able to glove it down as it just got behind him in the crease.
Yeah, reached back at the last second, and Ellenis' reaction, he was gloved to helmet in disbelief that they weren't able to get their 4th goal of the hockey game right here. Cameron Reed, pretty setup for the one-timer, as he was the recipient of a great setup on his one-time goal to make it 3-1 and returning the favor, trying to in that moment.
And now it's going to be the traditional 5-on-4 power play as the Rangers are offside, as forcing Humphreys out was Hayden Barch of the Saginaw zone.
Yeah, so they had a bit of extra ice to work with initially. Now, like you said, a 5-on-4 advantage for the Kitchener Rangers. And they'll bring that face-off just outside the Saginaw blue line. Interesting to note, Cameron Reed as well. It's such a catalyst on this power play. We know that, but just how much he is able to seamlessly go as attack on a play offensively and still find his way back to pull back defensively. It's really impressive to watch from such a young player.
That's why Nashville took him in the first round. As Humphreys, they give it back to Christian Humphreys. Humphreys for Pridham. Pridham lost control. Pridham was able to just get one up off his stick and went high and wide. But that was great stick handling ability by the Blackhawk prospect.
Talk about stick handling, some good one right there. And Christian Kirsch raising his head to the rafters, or his gaze to the rafters after that. Nice pass. Took a deflection into the crowd just around center ice, so they'll do it all over again just outside the Rangers blue line this time.
55 seconds left here in this Kitchener power play.
He's looking for the stretch pass there.
And Humphreys Christian Kirsch has really proven to be that extra third defenseman from time to time. He's not afraid to get the puck in play going quickly.
Doing his best Marty Brodeur impression. The kids out there have to do some YouTubing to figure out maybe what I'm referencing.
And that makes me feel ancient.
At least you know what I'm talking about, and that makes me feel better.
As Hayden Nelson tried to one-hand shovel it around the Spirit net. As this puck will go back into the Kitchener end, where Chromiak will track it down. Kirsch thought about coming out of the crease to play it, but the Rangers trying to get another rush going here with just 24 seconds left on the man advantage. Bilecki for Lamb. Lamb's got a step. Nice stick handling by Lamb. For Bilecki, cutting it. His stick was upheld that time. Good work by Storch. As the Rangers want to go down low for Arquette. Then to Chromiak. Cross ice for Tanner Lamb. Back into the high slot for Bilecki. One-timer by Chromiak. Save made by Shurigan. Puck is still loose, and then finally Shurigan able to smother it.
As the Saginaw Spirit netminder grabs it with his blocker hand. And so with just 3 seconds left on this Rangers power play before Graydon Jones steps back on the ice, the Rangers hoping for a clean face-off win and maybe a quick shot on goal to at least get a bit of a scramble. It would be the first time we've seen that tonight.
No, there's been a lot of loose pucks, especially in the Saginaw zone in that slot area, where Kitchener's been really making Stepan Shurigan showcase his athletic abilities. Made some good saves in those scenarios. And now we get back to 5-on-5 hockey. Caden Schneider kept it in the Saginaw end for only a minute as Barabanov back the other way for Saginaw. Barabanov, he'll try to take his shot himself. Back for Sema, who couldn't control the pass, is now Avery Ansis on the counterattack for Kitchener. Good stick in the lane there by Levi Harper as Ansis and Harper fall to the ice. Rangers keeping the Saginaw zone. Big blast there by Campbell. Ansis spins and fires, and it just went wide. As Stark will try to one-handle it up for Campbell. Campbell, a good drive into the glove of Shurigan.
Ansis with a nice turnaround shot and just narrowly missed the far post as he connected, and as it came off the end boards, it resulted in another follow-up opportunity for the Rangers. So again, this Rangers attack looking pretty good in the early going. It's really just one counterattack that's cost them in this hockey game. Otherwise, they played and really dominated, I'd say, 90% of this game from an offensive standpoint. Just 9 shots so far for the roadside is where we stand, with the Rangers putting together 22.
Schneider from the point goes wide off the end wall. Lamb sent it wide, and Schneider couldn't keep this puck in the Saginaw end. Schneider able to find Tanner Lamb. Lamb tried to give it right back to Arquette, but ended up turning it over as the Spirit come back. Looking to get a redirect there for Zhilkin. Shot went up wide. Taking a swipe at it was Barnes. He didn't get much on it. Now Tanner Lamb again. Lamb looking for Romano. Pass was just behind him. Now it'll come onto the front side of his stick as Luca Romano will throw this one around right for Tanner Lamb. Lamb out in front for Arquette, and a good glove save again made by Stepan Shurigan.
If I give Arquette credit there, he's not tall, like big in stature or tall, just simply put, but he finds a way to get good inside positioning, net front. And at the top of the crease, he's rewarded for those efforts as he's set up by, who else? Tanner Lamb. He's already set up 1 Rangers goal score tonight. Almost made it 2 right there with a squally scoring chance for the Rangers, number 11, who's already off to a great start this season, as we will all know.
He had 2 assists tonight for Tanner Lamb. Got the secondary assist on the Caden Schneider goal and had the primary and lone assist on that insurance marker goal by Cameron Reed.
The distributor. Is that too lame of a nickname?
The Laminator is what the team calls him. So.
Laminator. Ah, well, yeah. You'd be hard-pressed to think of another one.
So Chromiak will grab this puck as good pressure being put on by the Spirit, but the Rangers able to find a lane to exit their own zone. Now Chromiak will take this puck at center ice for Cameron Reed. Reed will shoot it in. It'll take a hefty bounce off that near corner as the Spirit with Graydon Jones able to get it out. Spirit trying to force their way out of their own end, and they will. Here's Shatan. Shatan over my backhand off the skates of Chromiak. Now Lachar able to corral the puck and march up ice for the Rangers. Here's Lachar. Lachar in a lot of traffic. Tried to backhand it off for Evan Hedrick. Now Miroslav Satan will backhand it out into the slot, or into the center ice, excuse me.
If Satan scores tonight, I want to hear your best Rick Jeanneret impression.
Okay. Bet. As Pridham, he finds Bilecki. Bilecki shot, and that was a good one, just high and over the crossbar. That's Barabanov. He turns it over back to Bilecki. Bilecki, he drives around his man in Gervais. As Bilecki had to just leave that puck behind the Saginaw net. Now Klepov with some numbers. He's got Barabanov with him. Klepov shot! Save made that time by Christian Kirsch. May have hit some Ranger bodies as well. As the Rangers, they want to get going again. Christian Humphreys, nice stick job to get that puck on his backhand. As Humphreys trying to fight off Hayden Barch. Gets it out to Pridham, and they get it to the point. Here's Bilecki. Bilecki a drive. Tried to redirect it. Was Elenis, but it goes into the netting and out of play as we will head to break with the Kitchener Rangers still with their 3-1 lead over the Saginaw Spirit. You're watching Hefner, Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV.
The only thing certain in life is change. We're here for you and your family when the unexpected happens.
Culligan Water has been Waterloo Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love.
Hello, just want to remind you that Lions TV Bingo is on Mondays here on Rogers TV, starting at 8, running till 9. Same great show, lots of prizes given away, and lots of funny little trivia along the way.
Continuing on with epic moments in Peter DeBoer's career, 2003, you heard him talk about it in his ceremony before the game. 2003, an OHL championship and a Memorial Cup, the apex of junior hockey. Back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Sean. What a team that 2003 Kitchener Rangers were, as you heard Sean say, not just an OHL championship, but a Memorial Cup.
Yeah, I still remember following that as a young lad, a young teenager, and certainly what young kid wasn't following that team in their formative years, especially here locally in Waterloo region. That was definitely a special run. You got Derek Roy, Mike Richards, Steve Eminger was another one. Went on to a nice NHL career for a little bit.
David Clarkson was on
Peter
that.
Kanko.
Peter Kanko.
Him of the Mohawk.
Yes. Great times. Guy I remember on that team for some reason, Adam Keefe. Tough guy on the team.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Good times with that run for the 03 Rangers. We get an icing call here against the Spirit.
And fellow former broadcaster and Scott Dickey between the pipes as well. Shout out to Scott.
Yeah, you just see just what Peter DeBoer meant to building these Rangers teams up, because they were always successful with him. Now, obviously, all of them didn't win OHL championships or compete for Memorial Cups.
I'd be remiss if we didn't mention Gregory Campbell as well.
Yeah. A lot of great names on that team that ended up having great NHL careers. As Caden Schneider will take the puck at center ice.
And through it all, Danny Lebold there on the bench.
He's been through everything. A wave going on here at the odd. Caden Schneider, his pass hits Vermeulen, but Vermeulen gets it on his stick. Trying to get a redirect there by Ellis. Ended up being with some Saginaw sticks that sent it over their own net. Chromiak. He'll play the puck. Gets it there for a shot from Vermeulen. Save made there by Shurigan. Spinning and firing as Ellis, and he sent it high. Now Jakob Chromiak for Mateus Stark. Stark changes direction. Stark throws one on through, hits some Spirit bodies, and now Jokin will put on the speed and head up ice before Schneider cuts him off. Great defense by Caden Schneider. Puck turned over as Kluche. He tried to drop it back for Harmer. Rangers will take it back with Vermeulen. There is Vermeulen. They'll just roll it around as the Spirit gain puck possession back. This puck will go the length of the ice as icing's called off. Saginaw goes for a line chase. Kluche nearly caused a turnover there. Romano will throw it off to himself. Romano Trying to get some help from Arquette. Battle goes behind the Spirit net. And the Spirit are the ones that'll bring it up this time with Blake Barnes. Foot race ensues as Carson Campbell does just enough to beat Sebastian Gervais. As Gervais, his pass behind the mark, but the Spirit keep it on in. Try to redirect it that time was Thoyer. Spirit hit backhand at this time with Storch. Can any Spirit find this puck? No, Cameron Arquette will. As the Rangers try to break out, and they will, as Romano will just roll this puck back to the Saginaw zone. And it'll be icing against Kitchener.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, and you know what? Full credit to the Rangers for the defensive effort they put here together tonight. We've been waxing poetic about how well and how strong they've been looking offensively. And granted, 3 goals, not a ton to write home about, but at the same time, it's just how they've dominated the offensive zone. They've been in really complete control and great speed. We know about the Rangers' team speed, but just the fluidity of it too. There haven't been as many stop-start periods. They've been solid in terms of their skating ability all throughout this hockey game. It's been on full display with regularity.
And just the defense that they've had only held Saginaw to just 9 shots here as we're hitting the midway point.
It helps when your pace is as high as it has been for Kitchener. When you're pushing it constantly out of your own zone, you're naturally going to avoid shots on your own net.
This Ranger team's really kind of bought in more on that defensive basis. We saw how good their defense was last year, but it's really picked up, and especially getting Carson Campbell back in the lineup. Yeah, this defense got a whole lot better as Chromiak will send it around the Spirit net. Ranger could grab a hold of the puck as Klepov tried the stretch pass as Romano kept it in the Saginaw net. As Shurigan tried to play it himself. Nearly found it for Lamb as the Spirit, they want to stretch pass, and they nearly got one for Klepov, but too strong. It'll be icing against Saginaw.
So they'll bring it all the way back into the offensive zone for the Kitchener Rangers as we are 28 seconds away from the midway point of tonight's hockey game. And they throw out this 4th line now for Kitchener. We haven't seen a ton of ice here tonight, but head coach Jussi Ahokas trying to spread the ice time around just a little bit. And maybe helps get them going with this draw deep in the Saginaw zone, albeit now the Rangers find themselves out and have to chip back in.
As Lachar, he'll pounce on this puck. Here's Lachar! Lachar scores! Back-to-back breakaway goals for the Maple Leafs prospect. And Matthew Lachar shows he's got hands that are soft as ice cream. 4-1 Rangers.
Well, if his hands are as soft as ice cream, that was served very soft here by Lachar, working with that bouncing puck no less, and flips it over the blocker of Saginaw Spirit netminder Shurigan, and just couldn't squeeze his arms together in enough time as Lachar, the grinder, makes it look pretty for his 2nd goal of the season. And what did I say about that 4th line getting some ice time? Well, taking full advantage of it to give the Rangers now a 4-1 lead.
Well, Lachar had a beautiful breakaway goal Saturday afternoon in Brampton against the Steelheads to put the icing on that cake, make it 4-0. He pots the 4th of the game for Kitchener in almost similar circumstances. We know he's the tough guy and really can use those hands for other things, but he's starting to find that scoring touch, Dan.
Enjoy while we can, right?
Absolutely. And the Spirit get a counter back shot that time from Glavin, blocked it away by Kirsch. As the Rangers once again just get enough to get it out of their own end as offside goes against Saginaw.
Yeah, we all know what kind of player Matthew Lachar is with the 62 penalty minutes and already 28 this season. He's one that's going to make his presence felt by way of physicality. But when you can mix in the odd goal or two, certainly that's what's going to make the NHL brass take notice, and another reason why he was selected in the 7th round by the Toronto Maple Leafs in this past summer's entry draft.
100%. We saw some of those touches, maybe not that fancy last season, but Lachar's got a great shot, doesn't shoot the puck that much. He likes to be the physical role, but you can tell he's really starting to mature before our eyes. As Harmer's pass is picked up on the far wall by Cloutier. Backhander there by Zhilkin. As the Spirit get a chance, big pad save made there by Kirsch.
Yeah, that was a nice toe save there from the Rangers netminder on just the 11th shot. Staying sharp despite the lack of workload.
That's what he's really made his calling card on. Hasn't maybe seen that much action as Zhilkin. He nearly came right in front of Christian Kirsch in his living room. That pass just a little off the mark. As Humphreys will try to wrap up his man as Go will send this one back around the Kitchener net. Now Jakub Kromiak takes a hit there from Zhilkin. As Elenis gets it up here for Humphreys. Here's Humphreys streaking it. Humphreys shot and a good pad save made by Shurigan. As Pepboy turned it over. Christian Humphreys on his backhand. Try to get it to the point, and he will as Reed tracks it down. Reed tried to feed it through, but Shatan knocks it away from him as Carson Campbell will restart in his own end. He's got Christian Humphreys, who failed on his initial shooting attempt and just got enough to roll it in the Saginaw zone. Harper finds this puck behind the Kitchener net, but once again, that's an icing against Saginaw.
Well, I don't think the coaching staff for the Saginaw Spirit are going to mince any words together. Too many breakaways. They have to be a little sharper on the defensive side of things, and you can look at Chris Lazary's bench right there, although he's the shot at the moment, but the Saginaw Spirit have almost been their worst enemy here tonight in a few instances, as the Rangers have built now a 4-1 lead.
As many breakdowns for the Saginaw Spirit as the WWE pay-per-view in Hamilton in '98.
Another YouTube reference for the kids out there.
Yes.
I'm liking these.
But you can just see just how young this Saginaw team is, and you gotta learn by fire. This is a guy that can get things going here as Pepboy. He got forced out of the Kitchener end. Pepboy again. He is hit hard by Carson Campbell as Carson Campbell, the C-Train, is back in the lineup as Ellis gets hit, taken down hard and dangerously by Gervais. A penalty was called. Stretch pass looking for Hayden Ellis. That one's just off the mark as Shurigan will wire it around. Vermeulen gets it on his backhand, then back to Schneider at the point. Shot, save made there by Shurigan, and Stark had a chance on the rebound, but Go got a stick on top of Stark's stick. As Klepov will throw this puck back in the Kitchener end. Arabana, he's wrapped up by Vermeulen. As falling to the ice there was Klepov. A bit of a quiet game here for Nikita Klepov. Luke Romano, he throws one on through that comes right back to him off the Spirit body. Romano into the slot. Romano a shot that's high and wide and comes back to Romano now for the third straight time before Romano gets driven into the near wall. As Valeris sends it around and tries to track it down himself. And nearly springs Klepov, and actually will spring Klepov. Klepov, he stops on a dime. His pass in the slot, though, is broken up by Diracolo. As now Tanner Lamb, he's looking to get it back for Romano, just a little too strong on the pass. As Nick Sema will throw it off the wall. Try to get it for the Spirit. Back the other way comes Kitchener. Sema got a good stick in the lane as Lamb's wrapped up, but Romano, they're trying to find Arquette, who's just waiting for a feed before the Spirit send Kitchener back deep in their own end with 6:20 left to go in the second period. Nearly turned over by the Rangers as now the Rangers able to clear. That was a dangerous situation. Luckily, it was all cleared up by Kitchener. Lamb, he's looking to get it for Arquette, but Jones will grab a hold of it for the Spirit. It's now kicked to Cloutier. Cloutier couldn't drive in as this puck will come back for Cloutier. Cloutier couldn't get a good scoring a chance on target as the Rangers will come back now with Tanner Lamb. Lamb, he'll slice. Lamb couldn't get a shot right. Cloutier with a good back check to poke Tanner Lamb off the puck. Now Dima Zhilkin, he's over the line. He peels back. He'll throw it in to the near corner in the Kitchener zone before Diracolo popped on it and was able to find his teammate there in Vermeulen. As the Spirit want to get Cloutier going, who's had a nice shift here for Saginaw, who just backhands it on the far side. As Kromiak will play it for Lamb. As Diracolo, stick in the lane, finds Stavin Hedrick. There's a stick battle going on that time with Storch, and the Rangers able to win it as Kromiak sees a lane that he wants to go. Instead, he'll just throw this one in behind the Saginaw net. A lot of good battles going on this shift for both teams. James Go gets it to Levi Harper. Harper stepping in here. Are the Spirit with Stort. Shot save made by Kirsch. Kirsch's best save of the game on that breakaway from Liam Storch.
Well, like I was saying, staying sharp, the veteran netminder, despite having few shots to contend with in this hockey game, he's answered the call on every one of them.
Out front again, that time is Thoyer, and once again, Kirsch shuts the door as we will head to break with 4:32 left in the second. Rangers up 4-1 on Saginaw. You're watching Hefner, Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV.
Hey, it's Carson Campbell, host of What's Buzzin', and we want you to hang out with us. We have a whole lot of fun, keep you updated on trending stories, and
have a lot of fun with our guests.
And stir the pot a little bit too.
Slightly, maybe, we'll see.
8 p.m. Wednesday nights on Rogers TV.
Don't forget to get your Rangers 50/50 tickets. Scan that QR code to head to Rangers5050.com. You can also text 95050 to get your tickets. Right now, your take-home portion is over $10,000 and growing. I had a great chat with Craig Campbell at an event we were both at this morning. He was telling me all about the upcoming mega jackpots. Man, do we have some exciting prizes coming up from Rangers Reach. Get your tickets for tonight. Back up to you.
Thank you very much, Sean. Yeah, you definitely want to scan that QR code while you could, because even if you're not here at the odd, you got a good chance to win a good load of money. And it's, of course, as we say, always for a good cause. 4:32 left to go here in the second period. Rangers with a 4-1 lead. Now, give Saginaw credit. They've really had the better moments in the last 5 minutes or so, trying to, once again, cut a Kitchener lead in half, but Christian Kirsch has had the answer time and time again. And the Rangers win this face-off. Campbell will backhand it around his net for Luke Ellenis. Flipped up and taken there by Klepov. As the Spirit want to get going, looking for Sema. Sema swiped off the puck by Bilecki. Backhanded on through by Barnes, still in the Kitchener zone. Klepov, he'll throw it on the far corner as Carson Campbell will grab a hold of it. Couldn't clear. Klepov keeps this one on in. Puck rode the end wall behind the Kitchener net as Barabanov got it to the point. Shot comes on, and a good save out in front by the Ranger defenders to bail out their goaltender. A little sloppy with the puck was Kitchener. Nearly came to Luke Ellenis. Can Ellenis get it on his stick? No, actually, they're going to blow the play dead for an offside.
I'll give you my thoughts, and I'm looking for yours in terms of the returnees to the Rangers lineup and Luke Ellenis, who continue to go at it after the whistle. And this will be something to keep an eye on here going forward, too, as the officials have to get in and break them up. I was just about to say, how do you think they've integrated themselves back in the lineup? Well, I don't think we have to say all too much, as is plainly evident on our screens right now, especially on Luke Ellenis.
Yeah, Ellenis, that was maybe just letting months and months off of steam.
Yeah.
But he was drawn in that time by one of the other Saginaw rookies we've said before, Blake Barnes. So the Spirit will get a power play. I think, you know what, Ellenis, you can just tell he's going to need a couple more games to find that form. Carson Campbell, I think, has been sensational. And Vermeulen's had his moments doing what he needs to do on those depth lines and nearly had that mini breakaway scoring chance in the first period. But these guys will need about, 4 to 10 games to really get back into that game shape form that Ranger fans are expecting from them.
Well, yeah, it's one thing to do it in practice, as the old cliche goes, but yeah, I agree. It's going to be about a handful of games before they feel like themselves, I think, in terms of the game speed, as this is cleared out almost immediately by the Rangers on this latest penalty kill.
Saginaw is 1 for 1 on the power play. That's where Barabanov got the lone goal for the Spirit. The power play be more good luck for Saginaw. As the Spirit drop it back for Zhilkin. Zhilkin for Klepov, who gloves it down. As Klepov tried to get it to the point, Barabanov looking for Klepov there, but he couldn't really take the feed cleanly, as that leads to a scrum in the near quarter in the Kitchener zone. Spirit did get free. Harper, he goes cross ice. Shot on that time from Gervais, blocked away by Kirsch. As once again, they'll just roll one through with the Spirit as Kirsch had to be sharp and Cameron Reed clears for the Rangers. Levi Harper will scoop this up from his own end, kick it back up to his stick blade. Harper able to find Barabanov. Barabanov gets it to Gervais, who tried to spin away, but that puck popped up right into the glove of Christian Humphreys, who nearly sprung Jack Pridham, as they're looking to get Pridham with all that space to operate. And he's been a killer shorthanded, as we've said. 2 shorthanded goals this season for the Rangers. As Harper throws it back for Barabanov, then for Gervais. Good clearing gain by the Kitchener Rangers with the final 30 seconds left of this Saginaw power play. Really nothing to show for it so far for the Spirit. As Harper throws it back for Barabanov. And they got it that time for Harmer. Some fresh legs on and a good clear by Kitchener. I think that was Diracolo that was able to swipe it out as play is blown dead with 11 seconds left on this Spirit power play.
It's a better looking penalty kill this time around for sure, with Ellis set to come back on here momentarily. And with the Rangers up by 3, you certainly don't want to give any life. So there's a look at Chris Lazary there now on the Saginaw Spirit bench as we have another glance. And this 3-goal advantage for the Rangers in the twilight of this second period. Like we were saying, they don't want to give the roadside a spark here. Did a good job up to this point.
And that will do it for the power play as Ellis is back on the ice. Let's go. Try to get a feed on through. Rangers kick Saginaw back just inside their own blue line. Couldn't find Chatan. Flying in here this time is Storch. And Carson Campbell once again, good active stick, winning these puck battles up against the wall. As Campbell able to go cross ice that time for Tanner Lamb. Lamb is wrapped up. That leads to a turner. Step and a shot. Save made that time by Kirsch. Countering back is Ellis. Ellis nearly had the puck roll off his stick blade. As Ellis battling now with Go on the near wall in the Saginaw zone. As Go tries to pin Ellis up there in the corner. Stark will help out for the Kitchener Rangers. This will work out nicely for the Rangers if they can win it. They got a chance, but they're eating up as much time, and they do win the puck back. As Reed falling down is Chromiak, but he's able to get it back. Nice move here by Cameron Reed. Reed backhand to forehand, still on the backhand. Reed Spitfire's got a deflection, and that puck just went wide off Avery Anst's shins. Stark tried to make a move, but he lost control of the puck. As Trevor Thoyer helping out for the Spirit. Go is as well, as now Stark will get it on his stick. Stark's pass just off the mark. No one was set at the point, so Chromiak will go into his own end and track it down. Chromiak here for Ellis. Ellis, he wants to go cross ice. That goes off a lot of Saginaw sticks into the net, into the seats and out of play.
Yeah, the crowd hoping for a 5th goal there a moment ago for the Rangers as they came close to making a 4-goal lead. With 22.5 seconds remaining. They'll keep Ellis, Stark, and Cam Reed out there along with Anstis and Jakub Chromiak on the back end.
22.5 seconds left. Face-off in the Saginaw zone. And Hayden Ellis will be excused. Avery Anstis will take the face-off for the Rangers. Anstis won the face-off, tried to drive to the net, but Cloutier cut him off. And that puck flying up in the air. Zhilkin didn't know where it was and will come for Cameron Reed. Lavin will just throw one through, hits the stick of Stark, and Ellis just swinging a miss trying to clear. Final 6 seconds. Kitchener's going to take no real chances. Chromiak finds Reed behind his own net, and they'll let the time expire here in the second period as the Kitchener Rangers add to their score sheet thanks to a beautiful breakaway goal by Matthew Luchar for his 2nd of the year. And once again, crowds are drawn, but the officials break this up. So, Dan, that'll give us time to look at the shots on goal after 40 minutes of play.
27-15, the Rangers still dominate in that category, although it's a lot closer in that second period as the Rangers able to put one more past the Saginaw Spirit to build up now to a 4-1 lead with the 11-9 shots on goal in the middle of 20.
And when we come back from break, our Sean Ferraro will talk to the returning Kitchener Ranger defenseman, Carson Campbell. You're watching Hefner Kitchener Rangers Hockey on Rogers TV.
The Village Caterer provides catering and services for all occasions, from business lunches to backyard barbecues, and to large events like weddings and community events. Let the Village Caterer help you make your event one you and your guests will never forget. Culligan Water has been Waterloo Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love.
Rogers TV Community News focuses on what impacts you in and around Waterloo Region and beyond. It's a twice-weekly look at important issues. Rogers TV Community News, Mondays at 5 p.m.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888 Taxi Guy or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
Just like any other job, to succeed in the NHL, you gotta take care of business.
You need to know how to motivate fellow employees. Come on, boys! It's important to be goal-oriented.
Assist team members whenever possible. Always put the customer first.
Listen to this builder. This place can't believe what they just saw.
Hey, beats a desk job.
What's wrong with a desk job?
Welcome back to Hefner Kitchener Rangers Hockey on Rogers TV. Rangers leading by a score of 4-1. The gentleman to my right told us that he was going to be back here on November 7th, and he is a man of his word. Carson Campbell back on the ice. Before I ask you, how are you feeling after that second period?
Feeling good, Sean. It's coming.
How does it feel to come back on the ice again, to take the ice and hear the crowd the way they were?
It's unreal. It's like being 16 again and coming out for your first game. You're nervous, but you're excited, and I'm so happy to be back here with the boys.
I know what a competitor you are, Carson. How hard was it for you to sit on the sidelines and watch the guys when you wanted to be on the ice as much as you did?
Yeah, to keep it simple, it was terrible. It was hard. We've talked before, Sean. Like, staying up in the press box is no fun for anybody. So, especially someone like myself, I get into the games pretty intensely. You see me on the bench down here, so I'm up there kicking myself, and to finally be back down here it's a relief.
What does it mean for you to be wearing this A for this team this year?
It's an honor. It's hard to put words to it. We have such a special group here, and there's so many guys that could have wore this A, and there's guys that still could have it. So to keep it short and sweet, it's an honor, and I'm happy to go to war with these guys every night.
This team has vocally declared that they want this to be a championship season. I've asked you about that before. I won't ask you about that again. However, tonight you watch a ceremony for a guy like Peter DeBoer, and you see the way every single person in this place stood on their feet and cheered for the last coach to bring a championship here. How much did that affect the guys standing on the blue line and what they want for this team?
Just absolute chills. Pete came in before the game and read the lineup and gave us kind of a little speech there, and it kind of just went along the lines of, obviously next year there's rumors and chatter we might get the Memorial Cup, but we've got a team this year, so why not go this year? Nothing's for certain in the future, so live every day in the moment and see where that takes us.
4-1 right now. What are you going to do in the third period?
Just keep applying the pressure, give him nothing, Sean.
Give him nothing. We'll see what happens there. Carson, welcome back. It's so great to see you back on the ice.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Sean.
All right. We'll be back with more right after this.
From the breakups.
Why can't I spend the weekend with you and Daddy?
To the coming togethers. To new beginnings. We are here to help you move forward.
Culligan Water has been Waterloo Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love.
You know the story. When the RCAF said Mach 2 fighter, 2-place 1,000-mile range, the British said it was impossible. The Yanks tried twice and failed. They said, you're dreaming. We said, fine, we'll build it right here in Toronto. And now you guys, my guys, are saying that it can't be done, that they were right?
Now that's the rocket that we use to get the model up to speed, and then the onboard sensor tells the...
Come on, baby.
Damn it! But we did it according to your specs. The specs have changed.
We did it.
Arrow 201. You're cleared for takeoff.
We did it!
Although the government canceled the project and destroyed the prototypes, the Avro Arrow remains for Canada a world benchmark in aerospace achievement.
What's Up Stratford is a monthly look at what's happening in and around Stratford. Host Peter Moranger talks to a variety of guests, from politicians to artists. What's Up Stratford, Sundays at 3:30 p.m.
Welcome back to Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV. On the strength of a Matthew Lachar second period goal, the Rangers now up in front by a score of 4-1. Time for our up and down segment, and let's bring the boys in from upstairs. And as they say in hockey, let's do that hockey, shall we? Tonight, as we've talked about, it's the inaugural night in the level of legacy. Peter DeBoer, the first honoree. We're going to have Brian Bellows a little later this year as the second honoree. Now, I'll specify, the plan is that this is going to be an annual event, but there is going to be a committee to choose people. And Rangers, if you need someone on the committee, I'd be happy to help. But the plan is for this to be annual. Whether that happens or not, we will see. So my question for you is, if you can pick one and only one name that you want to see on the level of legacy, and remember, it doesn't have to be a player, it's someone who contributes to the culture and legacy of this team, who would it be? Jason, I'll ask you first.
Well, Sean, I'm going to go with a Kitchener, Ontario native himself, a member of that 1982 Memorial Cup champion team. That would be Scott Stevens. Scott Stevens, what he did with his run with the Kitchener Rangers, obviously being a local native, that has to be huge as well, because in my opinion, Scott Stevens is the second best athlete to ever come out of Kitchener, behind, of course, former heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis. But Scott Stevens served his role on that Kitchener Rangers team. He's also playing with Al McInnes on the defensive side of things, another guy that should go up there on that level of excellency. But Scott Stevens really learned those great leadership qualities here in Kitchener and went on to be, after that 82 season, the 5th overall pick in the 1982 NHL draft, just 3 picks behind Brian Bellows, who will get that honor. So I would go with the Kitchener native, Scott Stevens.
That's a great pick. For myself, I looked at Mike Richards, and there was a poll done about 5 years ago amongst Rangers fans online, and they all put their thoughts into this one too. Who's the greatest Kitchener Ranger of all time? And he came out on top. So I think I had some advocates alongside me. Obviously, it's a great debate to have. There's so many former Kitchener Rangers that could be, up for this honor for sure. But for me, Richards as a Mem Cup champion, two-year captain with the Rangers, multi-award winner amongst the leaders in a lot of statistical categories. Really one of the greatest all-around Kitchener Rangers too, what he contributed to this organization and then went on to achieve thanks to what he learned here and developed here. For me, it's Mike Richards.
Well, I'm going to chime in on each of your picks before I give you mine, and maybe I'll ask you to chime in with a thought on each other's picks there when I'm done. Jason, I think that's a great choice in Scott Stevens. I talked to Jeff Emmerich, who kind of spearheaded this level of legacy thing, and he said seeing Brian Bellows and Scott Stevens come off the ice when the team was here, and the emotion in their eyes is really what prompted this level of legacy to come to fruition. And Dan, I think Mike Richards is a great choice. Arguably the greatest Ranger of all time, as you said. Every time we have a bracket thing, it ends up with Mike Richards right at the end. So I think those are both excellent choices. What do you two think of each other's choices?
I like Dan's pick. I mean, look, that's a new generation of player. Mike Richards was a key factor with Peter DeBoer in winning a Memorial Cup in 2003 with Kitchener, and he's kind of a similar road with Scott Stevens. He learned that great quality here in Kitchener and went on to win Stanley Cups in the NHL with what he learned here in Kitchener.
And for Stevens, when I think of the word legacy, really, he left a lasting one for sure. And the fact that you got the local connection as you described, but the Rangers were good as soon as an individual like Scott Stevens was involved, and they really set the bar of where this organization went until it got to the likes of Mike Richards and Derek Roy and whatnot too. So I can see the argument to be made for sure there with Scott Stevens.
Two excellent choices, gentlemen, for their performance on the ice. I'm actually going to step off the ice for my choice, and I'll preface this by saying perhaps I'm a little biased for my proximity to the team and where I work down here between the benches. But my choice, unequivocally for this, as the number one in my opinion, is Dan Lebold. And Dan Lebold needs to be in that level of legacy at some point, and I'm sure he will be. For over 30 years with this team, he's been the central cog in the wheel that is the Kitchener Rangers. I've done so many alumni interviews in the past decade, close to 100 of them. Every player I interview talks about Dan. Peter DeBoer came out of this room right here tonight. The minute he saw Dan, he had the biggest smile on his face and gave him a hug and didn't let him go, and talked at length about what Dan means to this team in a pre-taped interview that we did. It's not just hockey. He's not just a trainer. It's not just equipment. He's family, and every player I talked to, Gabe Landeskog told me, coming all the way from Sweden, Dan was the parent that he needed when he was here. Ben Finelli, I mean, you know what Dan's role was in Ben Finelli's accident. Ben Finelli referred to him as a lifesaver when I gave word association. Cameron Reed says, it's like I'm looking at my grandpa, who was a trainer in this league as well, when I see Dan and that relationship. For me, I struggled with some mental health a few years back, and Dan made sure that this was a safe space down here. And Dan, you know, one day gave me the biggest hug and reminded me, this is family. Like, if you're not around this team, you don't understand what this family is like. And if this is about contributing to culture, well, really, Dan creates the environment for that to thrive. And for my choice, it would be Dan Lebold. What do you guys think of that?
I absolutely love that, Sean. I mean, I've got to know Dan obviously here with the Rangers, but as well with some lacrosse, watching his sons play with the Wilmot Wild. Dan not only should be a member of the legacy of a level of legacy with the Kitchener Rangers, he should be a level of legacy of a person.
Yeah, and I had the privilege of working in the front office of the Rangers for a limited time, but in that time, just really discover how much of a salt-of-the-earth human being Dan Lebold is, hockey aside, and you described it, Sean, so eloquently. It's just how personable he is, how relatable he is, and really just what a decent individual he is too, in terms of the support he provides. Not even just from a hockey standpoint, we all know that, but just from taking an extra minute to have a conversation during the course of a busy day. Absolutely, that was certainly have my pick too.
We meet a lot of people in hockey. There's some great players out there. There's some great coaches, but there's also just some great people. Gentlemen, as always, great chat. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more. You're watching Hefner Kitchener Rangers Hockey on Rogers TV.
My name is Aaron from Monster Heat on YouTube, and if you love extreme challenges like I do, you'll get to witness some of this. See, over here at Monster Heat, we do it all, and you can watch it all on Rogers TV.
Rogers TV Community News focuses on what impacts you in and around Waterloo Region and beyond. It's a twice-weekly look at important issues. Rogers TV Community News, Mondays at 5 p.m.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can leave you in a bad spot. You could end up riding in a police car, an ambulance, or a hearse. These unplanned modes of transportation can be a costly choice and do not take you home. Your plan could include a designated driver, a taxi, or public transit. Drink responsibly, choose your ride, and have a plan for a safe ride home.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Here we go.
You can't do this, Jacques. It's never been done before.
Mr. Blake.
You can't see down with that thing.
Mr. Blake.
Jacques. What?
They're coming.
Hold them up. Find something. Jacques, I'm telling you for the last time.
Are the Canadians finished? His plant coming back on the ice. Come on, give us something, will you?
Please, how many stitches? Gentlemen, please.
Hey, Tony, you got something to say to the people in the hall?
On November 1st, 1959, Jacques Plante of the Montreal Canadiens broke with tradition.
You're a brave man, Mr. Plant, standing up to him like that.
And changed the face of hockey forever.
Welcome back to Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV. Sudbury's playing the Barrie Colts tonight on Shoresy night in Sudbury. And check it out, for the third year in a row, they've got Shoresy-themed jerseys. Welcome to Sud Vegas with the Blueberry Bulldogs. Those are going to be online for auction. And in related news, I am about to spend a lot of money. We are going to take a quick break and be back with the third period. You're watching Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV.
For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver, you've stayed over, called home, you've called a cab or a friend, and planned ahead. Let's keep doing the right thing. Support sober driving by getting yourself and your friends home safely.
Do the right thing.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Thursdays.
These cases are hard. It's okay if you don't want to fight, because we are going to fight for you.
We have to be able to say we did everything we could.
Every move we make is being scrutinized.
He needs to pay for what he did.
Some things in life you can't run from.
I'm going to make sure that you spend the rest of your days in a 6x8 cell.
Law and Order Thursday, all new, 8/7 Central on City TV.
Hey, Gabe, we're supposed to be at City Hall.
We're gonna build it right here.
Yeah, sure. And give wetsuits to all the visitors?
No, on the water.
Hey, come on, we're talking about building something the size of 64 city blocks.
And there's no land left in Montreal.
So, get serious.
Listen, we'll build islands.
How? You dig up Montreal?
They're digging a subway, remember? You take it from there, and you put it here.
12 months and 25 million tons of fill later, St. Helens Island was reshaped and Ile Notre Dame was created.
Come on, we don't want to keep Mayor Drapeau waiting, do we?
Montreal's Expo 67. It would prove to be the most successful World's Fair of the 20th century.
Welcome back to Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV. Just enough time to say hello. Here comes the puck drop for the third. Here's Jason and Dan.
Thank you very much, Sean. We'll see if the Kitchener Rangers take Carson Campbell's advice and give the Saginaw Spirit nothing here in the third period and close this one out. Quick icing, though, against Saginaw, just 7 seconds into the third.
Yeah, it's closeout time for the Kitchener Rangers, and it's just a matter of not letting up. You've been playing some darn good hockey for the first 40 minutes of this game, and already in good shape. And it starts in the back end. Christian Kirsch, they've done a great job in protecting with just the 15 shots against here this evening. And he's done a job as well, keeping the puck out in the limited time he's been called upon. But a great defensive effort overall. It starts there, and Rangers obviously helping with their offense with 4 goals tonight.
As Romano trying to get it back for Arquette before Klepov got a hold of it. Spinning away there as Arquette got away from Harper, tried to backhand one in the slot. No Ranger was there. As now Romano, he's waiting for Arquette to get out of the zone. Now Romano driving in. Here's Romano, tried to throw it out in front, nearly poke-checked away too by Shurigan. Barabanov, and that's going to be, nope, they're say play on. Just as that puck didn't end up getting on a Saginaw tape. Tanner Lamb trying to get around Harper. Barabanov was nearly turned over. Here is Igor Barabanov, the lone goal scorer for the Spirit. He'll throw it cross-ice looking for Harper as Jakub Kromiak. He gets it to Arquette. Arquette couldn't backhand it out. Kluchek trying to force his way through. As now the Rangers, they'll flip this one out on the backhand of Luca Romano. Harper gets a feedback for Go, try to drop it back. He was looking to find Carson Harmer, as now Harmer will corral the puck and enter the Kitchener end. As Romano He'll throw this one the length of the ice as James Go will try to get there first, and he will. Good forecheck being put on by Ellis, but Go able to find Glavin. Humphreys pins that puck and gets it behind the net looking for Ellis, and Ellis decided to just let it go. And that was maybe an ill-advised move as that brings Kluche and the Spirit into the Kitchener end. A real no harm, no foul. Campbell looking to get it to Pridham. Pridham gets the puck out of his own end, but Harmer got it back at center ice. Knocked down by Ellis, but came here for Kluche as Christian Kirsch will play it off the wall right on the tape of Ellis. Now to Pridham. Pridham, he tried to get a quick snapshot away, fanned on it, and that leads the Saginaw Spirit to break out here with Dima Zhilkin. As Zhilkin over the line for Kluche. Kluche shot steered away by Kirsch. As the Rangers can't get the puck back here on the near wall as Zhilkin tries to glide it up to the point, bouncing puck, and it bounced out of the Kitchener end for Petboy. Now the Spirit here once again with Barnes. They want that stretch pass. Coming in is Storch. Storch. He backhands one around. There is Petboy. Petboy can't get a shot on target. Falling to the ice that time is Shatan. As the Rangers, they'll break out with Vermeulen, then gets it here for Stark out on the far wing. Stark, he throws one through. Stick save made by Shurigan. Back the other way comes Miroslav Shatan for Petboy. As Schneider tries to clear. Good job by Barch to fly in and keep the puck in the Kitchener end. Stark, he backhands one on through. Diracolo can't clear. Petboy shot, that's blocked in front, and it ricochets out of the Kitchener end to center ice for Valeris. Valeris for Petboy. Now to Shatan. Shatan trying to step around Diracolo, who just held his ground and gets it to his defense partner in Schneider, who couldn't flip it out. But the Spirit just throw it back into the Kitchener as they want to go for a line change. Good shift by Saginaw as they bring the big guns on with Sima Barabanov and Klepov. But it's Kitchener with the puck to Diracolo, then to Caden Schneider. Schneider, who got the opening goal of tonight's game, his second of the season. That really started the floodgates going for the Rangers. Barabanov starting this rush out. Now on the tape of Sima. Sima, he drops it back to Glavin. Glavin looking for Harper. Harper was a little too strong of a pass. He wasn't quite set. Klepov here for Barabanov. Barabanov shot save made by Kirsch. And a second whack of it, just couldn't get it on target. Fancy skating there by the Spirit with Klepov. But Saginaw with Harper didn't get anything on target. And look out, here's a near breakaway again from Lachar. But sliding through to break that up was Klepov. Could have been back-to-back breakaway attempts for Matthew Lachar.
It's like a pure goal scorer all of a sudden out there, considering that would have been his second breakaway opportunity in as many shifts.
If he was able to corral that puck and score 3 straight breakaway goals, who would have had that? All 3 of your goals would have been on the breakaway, but still, he'll just have to settle for the 2. And he's a little bothered and in some discomfort is Lachar heading to the Kitchener bench. And is there a penalty going to be coming up against Lachar? Yep, it looks like there is. Matthew Lachar is going to go to the penalty box.
How's that for an end-of-shift moment?
And he doesn't like it at all.
No, why would he, I guess, right? I mean, it starts so well with the potential breakaway opportunity, and then now he's going to sit for 2 or less.
It's an unsportsmanlike penalty.
Have another look at it as he slashed away at center ice, and yeah, it was not Lachar that received that slash, but he's standing up for his teammate there, and UC Ahoka is not happy that the initial slash wasn't called. Obviously, he did some damage, and Saginaw maybe getting away with one there, and so often happens in this game, it's the retaliatory stuff that gets nabbed.
So Saginaw back to the power play. They're 1 for 2 on the man advantage tonight. That Barabanov goal came in the first period on the power play. As Pridham wants a shorthanded rush himself. And Ranger fans with the loud boos after Dave Schneider announced the penalty, and Saginaw entering the zone, but too early offside against the Spirit.
1:43 now to go on this PK, and certainly the second or latest penalty kill for the Kitchener Rangers looked a lot better in this hockey game, as they've been able to keep a clean sheet since that opening tally for the Saginaw Spirit, which made it a 1-goal game at that point. But credit the Rangers for pushing her right back. as they had a quick response in the first and haven't looked back.
Barabanov will roll it in behind the Ranger net as Cameron Reed takes down Zhilkin. Pridham tried to clear Aaron, clearing attempt, shot with a good rip that time by Klepov, and second chance by Klepov, and it went wide. Rangers defenders bailing out Kirsch after that Pridham turnover. And Romano just did enough to force the puck out of his own net. It just rolled away from the Spirit. Now Klepov out on the far wing. Here's Klepov, he'll cut in. Fancy feed by Klepov on the backhand for Barabanov, but Harper couldn't corral it, and then just falling down there was Christian Humphreys, or he had a lot of ice to work with. Carson Campbell intercepts, and that pass hits Zhilkin, and that denies a near break for the Rangers. With some bad puck luck for Kitchener in the last 2 seconds. As Shurigan, he'll play that one cleanly to the far corner in his own zone as Harper gets it to Barabanov. Barabanov over the line. He wants to go cross ice as Humphreys knocked it down before it could even get there, and the Rangers clear. As Stepan Shurigan will leave this for Graydon Jones. 27 seconds left to go on the Spirit power play. So Jones will drop it back for Kluche. Quick passing by the Spirit as Jones is the only man behind the Kitchener net. Tried to center one out or get it to the far side. That's cleared by the Rangers. As Shurigan does well to get the puck away from Alanis in the final 8 seconds of this Spirit power play. Harmer, shot there from Sema, save made by Kirsch, and the Rangers clear, but right under the equipment of Sema, but Lachar is back out of the penalty box. Even strike, go, a chance, save made, it trickles through. Crashing the crease were the Spirit, and Carson Harmer once again cuts the Kitchener lead in half. It's now a 4-2 hockey game.
And so the Rangers again dealt a bit of a blow as things are going and just going along so smoothly. It's Harmer with his 3rd goal of the year, bringing the Saginaw Spirit back within 2. A quick snapshot and then the rebound as well on the doorstep for Saginaw's number 13. And Harmer with an important goal early, relatively early in this 3rd period, giving Saginaw some life. Plenty of time to work with, maybe to try to start mounting a bit of a comeback as the officials are over at the booth waiting for the good to go, and they do get the thumbs up. That's a good goal.
Yeah, Dave Schneider gives it the thumbs up. So once again, Saginaw has cut a Kitchener lead in half. And Carson Harmer is the one that does it this time.
And Harmer, the St. Mary's, Ontario native. Just a little road trip, not too far down the road, with an important goal for his team to give him life.
Shot from the point by Barnes went wide. Now Barnes will corral the puck again. Turns it over here for Hayden Ellis. Ellis hit hard by Barnes, but he's trying to get it back in the slot. Here's Black. Backhander shot by Vermeulen. Save made by Shurigan. And Stark had a good chance, just couldn't get it on target. Wild puck play for the puck in the Saginaw end in the slot. Pilecki's pass is intercepted there by Petboy. Now Petboy getting a rush going here with Shatan. Shatan passed back, nearly turned it over to Stark before Petboy dumps the puck into the Kitchener end, as that puck took a nifty bounce. Here comes Cameron Reed. He'll backhand one on in. That will just ride the end wall, and Reed intercepts. Cameron Reed leaves it now for Evan Hedrick. Hedrick gets checked hard from Sema, and intercepted here by Nikita Klepov. Klepov, he'll just throw one into the near corner for Barabanov. Here's Barabanov. Barabanov has the puck on a string. Stepping in, shot off the post that time from Larch. And that'll spring a counterattack for Kitchener. 2-on-1 with Anstis and Hedrick. Anstis shot, and he hit a piece of the post as well in the Saginaw end.
How's that far toe drag? That's a thing of beauty right there.
Well, Avery Anstis starting to trust his offensive skills more. He nearly got the 5th of the game for the Rangers.
Yeah, confidence must be sky high to try to pull a move like that.
As Gervais backhands it on into the Kitchener end, as the Spirit will play it there with Klepov. Trying to get away. There is Gervais. He's pinned up against the far boards by Diracolo. Diracolo and getting Schneider to help out. That puck does trickle through. Good box out there by Avery Anstis on Zhilkin. As Vermeulen tried to get it to Schneider, and the Rangers still couldn't break it out of their own end. Here's Nikita Klepov looking for Gervais. Gervais Just got enough of it behind the Kitchener net before Max Diracolo intercepts. Swinging it, got a piece of it there was Ansis for the clear. As Klepov, you're going to expect to see a lot of that top line for the Spirit. Shot on! Save made by Kirsch. Here's a counterattack for the Rangers again as Lammy is looking to get it for Romano. He has taken off the puck by Zhilkin. As the Rangers get it to the point for Elnis. Now to Carson Campbell. Campbell, a shot save made there by Shurigan, and he's able to smother the puck before the whistle goes as we will head to break with the Rangers up 4-2 on the Spirit. You're watching Hefner Kitchener Rangers Hockey on Rogers TV.
From the breakups.
Why can't I spend the weekend with you and Daddy?
To the coming togethers. To new beginnings. We are here to help you move forward.
Culligan Water has been Waterloo Region's trusted source for drinking water systems, water softeners, and problem water solutions for over 85 years. Cleaner, better water for your household is easy and more convenient than ever. Culligan, water you love.
Rogers TV Community News focuses on what impacts you in and around Waterloo Region and beyond. It's a twice-weekly look at important issues. Rogers TV Community News, Mondays at 5 p.m.
Look at this final stop in Peter DeBoer's coaching career, the 2008 OHL Championship. Into the front door for the Memorial Cup. Look in the top right there. That's Steve Spott, Peter DeBoer, and Troy Smith, all former head coaches of the Rangers. All three of them up in the box watching this game together tonight. Back up to you guys.
Thank you very much, Sean. Yeah, it's the last time the Kitchener Rangers won an OHL championship, and we're just a game away from another Memorial Cup on Peter DeBoer's watch. With that Memorial Cup here in Kitchener, and Kitchener has visions of that for 2027.
I wonder how much time they've actually spent in those boxes here at the Odd.
I think they've had a great reunion tonight here in those boxes. Those boxes got a good workout as the Spirit steer that wide before Romano can pounce on the loose puck. Here's Gervais streaking in. Gervais on the backhand. Gervais trying to drop the trailer back for Zhilkin.
What a play there by Campbell, stepping in his path and shoving him aside. That's what the veteran presence of Carson Campbell brings to the back end.
And we're just past the midway point, 9:57 to go in the third period.
And it's those unflashy plays that his teammates love but aren't going to get a lot of hype as much as I'm giving it typically on most broadcasts.
Oh, that was a great play for sure. And, you know, that just goes to show the strength of how much better this blue line is going to be. And already seeing the point with Carson Campbell back in the lineup. As Humphreys, heel drive. Humphreys tries to drop it back in the slot. No Ranger was there as the Spirit clear. Now Chromiak gets it out to Cameron Reed. As Reed, he'll weigh his options. He's not going to try to make an errant pass, but a good forecheck being put on by Pepoy. Now Chromiak as Storage. He's in the fray as well, but Rangers did well to play keep away. Now here for Humphreys. Humphreys for Elnis. Elnis shot pad save there by Shurigan. And a big blast goes high and wide. As the Rangers now with Humphreys, well, once again, they'll throw it down low. Elnis takes a good check that time. Pridham trying to help out. But it's actually going to be Elnis that uses his muscle and strength to get away. Here's Luke Elnis able to find Caden Schneider. Schneider, his pass back for Elnis. Here's Elnis drinking. Elnis from his knees. Shot and a good save by Shurigan.
My goodness. If ever there was going to be a first goal of the season, yeah, Luke Elnis, you said it all right there, too. We don't have to be lip readers to know what the reaction is. I think a lot of Rangers fans are saying the same thing after that attempt from his knees, no less, as he stepped in front of this pass. Wasn't intended for him, but he stepped in front of it. And then there, down on both knees, no less. Gets a great shot off still before sliding into the corner. What an effort by number 19.
Well, that's that creative playmaking ability we're so used to seeing from Luke Elnis. And even from his knees, but a great scoring attempt on that Shurigan had to make a good save on. As for Mullen, he'll throw it on through. Shurigan gets a piece of it. That's Stark. Leaves it back. Nice move by Hayden Ellis. Here's Ellis. Has to kick it back to himself as Nick Sema knocks down Hayden Ellis. It'll come to the point for Bilecki. Then to Vermeulen. As Vermeulen backhands it to Bilecki. Bilecki will throw one through. That hits Sema. And Sema able to control it as the Spirit will break out with Barabanov. Now Bilecki He looking to get it. Couldn't touch it there. Was Ellis, would have been offside. So Shurigan, he leaves it for Hayden Barch. Barch will start this rush out. Good pass by Barch as the Spirit just dumped this puck in. That's Carson Campbell. He'll play it. Got away from Barabana. Felt the pressure. Now Evan Hedrick for Bilecki. Then to Avery Anstis. Anstis with a step. Here's Avery Anstis. Shot save made by Shurigan. Hedrick will scoop up the loose puck in the Saginaw zone. Gets it to Diracolo. Here's Max Diracolo shot. Glove save made by Shurigan. Didn't know where it was. Bounced off his glove over the Spirit net. Anstis still fighting for these pucks. Another good shift for Avery Anstis, but that time Caden Schneider couldn't control it. As Klepov comes over the line for Saginaw. Klepov tried to drop it back for Barabanov as the Rangers will take it now with Evan Hedrick. Hedrick trying to make a move over his man. Then Barnes, as the Spirit get to at least center ice before Diracolo gets it back on his tape. Schneider rolls it, looking for Matthew Lachar, and why not the way he's been playing offensively recently. Tanner Lamb lost control of it. Spirit were looking for the stretch pass there for Gervais. Diracolo. Then to Schneider. Schneider didn't get much wood on that as Lachar will push it back for Caden Schneider as he's pinned down behind his own net. Good forecheck being put on by Cloutier. As Cloutier, the Winnipeg Jet prospect, nearly forced a turnover. Harmer, he'll throw one. That one just goes wide. As Gervais again. Gervais wrapped up by Caden Schneider. As the Spirit try to get to the point, and they will with Harper, but exiting the zone for a split second there was Barnes, and that leads to Saginaw having to regroup just outside their own blue line. Looking to get to Gervais. Gervais knocked down by Diracolo with a thunderous hit. Romano for Diracolo. That loose stick that was on the ice scooped up by the officials. And Kitchener, they're loving this. They'll just try to play as much clock as they can. 6:09 left to go in the third period. Reed, he'll weigh his options and start this rush out for Kitchener. Here comes Cameron Reed. He shoots it in. It takes a good bounce off the end wall, but hit the netting and out of play as we will head to break. 5:56 left in the third. The Rangers up 4-2 on the Spirit as you're watching Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV.
The Quintessence Coalition brings you immersive experiences and conscious collaborations from artists across the country. Don't miss the sights, sounds, and spirits of the Quintessence Coalition. Saturdays at 8:30 p.m.
Don't forget to tune in for This Week in Rangers Nation every Friday at 6:30. You're going to find exclusive details like return dates for injured players like we had a couple weeks ago. I'll let you know that while we did have that 5-minute interview with Peter DeBoer in the first intermission, we were given the opportunity to interview Pete this afternoon. So we have a lengthy interview coming up on next week's edition of This Week in Rangers Nation. Full length with Peter DeBoer. Back up to you.
I believe that's called a tease. That's a great tease, and that's an interview definitely don't want to miss on This Week in Ranger Nations right before our next broadcast on Friday. As Humphreys.
Get on the Torrin train, right?
Yeah, all aboard. Jones here for Klepov. Klepov, he just throws one on. That goes wide. As the Rangers will grab a hold of it with Chromiak. Chromiak will once again take his time, try to eat up as much clock before breaking out. And no real urgency, but no need for the urgency as Kitchener's got that comfortable 2-goal lead. Sema try to force the issue though. Pass cross ice just behind Jack Pridham as now Nick Semo grabs a hold of it for Saginaw and they get it out here for Klepov. Klepov, nifty skating, but it's going to be offside against Saginaw.
Yeah, you're right. Just no need to rush anything, but you have to stay in control, mindful of that impending forecheck, which Saginaw was bringing there in that last sequence. So keep the puck on your stick. Don't try to do anything too crazy with it. And it will likely lead to success and 2 points here tonight.
That's what the Rangers did not do. You know, Saginaw would try to throw everything with the top line of Sema, Barabanov, and Klepov. But Kitchener's defense has really made it tough for those guys to have some quality chances here tonight, as the Rangers will send this the length of the ice for an icing against Kitchener.
Yeah, it's Rangers fans happy to see that they had a quiet night here so far. That Saginaw Spirit watch party, though, at the Buffalo Wild Wings back stateside, not so much. But we still appreciate them tuning in.
Barabanov has the first goal for Saginaw. That was on the power play, but even strength where those guys can really be dangerous too. Kitchener's done a good job forcing them wide. Really nothing in close on Christian Kirsch, as once again, just another reason to highlight how good this defense has been for the Rangers, especially for the last couple of weeks or so. As there's Kluche. Kluche's shot, and he just fired it wide. He was looking to ring one off the post and in. Zhilkin goes back to his net and tracks it down. Zhilkin wanted the stretch pass. Too much on that stretch pass from Zhilkin. That's going to be an icing against Saginaw.
Yeah, I just want to see some more flow at the late stages of this hockey game, and Rangers fans certainly, as there was a great gathering here at the Odd, as a number of them are starting to head to the exits, thinking this one is in hand, but we've seen crazier things happen in junior hockey. We talk about it all the time, but the Rangers holding this 2-goal lead in front of a crowd that was over 7,000 here tonight at the Memorial Auditorium.
As Bilecki, his shot was blocked, but came back to start.
And proofs in the pudding as to why Coach DeBoer and Steve Spott said this is the best junior hockey rink in North America.
It's a little more like it. No Halloween or World Series to compete anymore for the Rangers, as Kirsch will clear the puck himself.
There's nothing much that'll beat out free candy.
For sure. Shot on, save made there by Kirsch. Still a scramble by the Rangers crease, but Christian Kirsch got it under his equipment.
Got a little help from his friends there too, as coming in to help him, Carson Campbell, no surprise there, and a couple other white jerseys in the blue ice too. Looks like Luca Romano there too, keeping an eye on things. Yeah, you're right. He's the one now getting up to a knee and skating away after all. Mishandled by Kirsch, and it was sitting there on the blue ice, and finally, the very last second possible, able to put his mitt on it as Zhilkin was streaking in.
Yeah, you saw that one kind of just, maybe Kirsch misjudged it a tad, but still able to get the pad on it. But it was on the top of his pad, and it came right back to his glove. Thankfully, he was able to smother it. But no, those Zhilkins, Dan, we're used to seeing Danny, Dima's older brother, spend some time here with Kitchener. Those Zhilkins, the shot, it remains in the family. That was a nifty shot from a sharp angle. As there is Zhilkin peeling away from Lamb. Still with it is Zhilkin. Gets it to Harper. As the Spirit, they pulled the goaltender. So 6-on-5 for Saginaw. Now out front, Barabanov tried, and this could go to the empty net. Will this hit the target? No, it'll go just wide.
I left my curling broom at home. I wish I could have brought that along.
Harper.
Throw me out, coach.
Levi Harper, he'll drop it back for Zhilkin. As the Spirit, they want to spring the speedster in Zhilkin. The Rangers, they broke that up. Battle here by the Kitchener blue line as Harper will control it now to Barabanov. Barabanov will spin away, spinning pass as he's looking for Gervais. As the Spirit get it here on the near wall, as Romano intercepts, he's got it to Arquette for Tanner Lamb, who's looking for the empty net, scores! Tanner Lamb makes it 5-2 with the empty netter.
Well, that was the light version of Tanner Lamb, if you want to put it that way, with the empty netter. An easy one for the Rangers, number 37. But he puts this game on ice with 3 minutes to go. The Rangers leading by 3 goals yet again, as he's able to stride in and slot it home. And Tanner Lamb now up to 7 goals on the season, as he creeps within that goal-scoring lead held by Jack Pridham. But good for second at the moment on the Rangers.
What a night for Tanner Lamb, a 3-point night. Now the goal to the 2 assists. Tanner Lamb continues to just rack up the points for the Kitchener Rangers. A guy that's, as we've said many times, Snake, really using the chip on his shoulder, not getting drafted in last summer's NHL draft. He's really trying to prove to teams what he brings to the table. And he's really a real highlight of that tonight with the 2 assists and now a goal for his 3-point night. Well, that's not going to deter Saginaw. They're still going to battle here for the final 2:26 before they got a game tomorrow against the Battalion. As Humphreys looks for Pridham and finds him. Pridham trying to create some space, drops it back for Ellenis. Ellenis for Humphreys. Pass just off the mark, came back to Diracolo at center ice. So the Rangers will slow things down here with Cameron Reed. Reed will take his time and bring it below 2 minutes. Now to Chromiak, up ice for the Rangers. Chromiak, he'll shoot this puck in. It'll glide around the wall. Pop here on the far boards, looking for Lachar. As Chatan forces this puck out. Now here's Sema over the line. Nice dangles by Sema, but Chromiak strips him of the puck before he can do anything with it. As Lachar, now back for Anstis. Anstis backhanded it on through, but that was taken away. Here's Barnes for the Spirit, and Zhilkin got a piece of it with his backhand. Harmer will track it down. Harmer falls as Chromiak wraps him up. As Sema battling with Hedrick. As Chromiak tried to lift that one out of his own end, didn't get enough mustard on it. As Cameron Reed gets it for Jakub Chromiak. Chromiak, his pass is broken up as Lachar lays a good check there on the far boards. Here's Chromiak, nearly stripped of the puck by Sema, but nice stick handling by the Ranger defenseman. As we're under a minute to go here in the third period. Jones wants to stretch pass there for Zhilkin. Settling down for Harmer. Harmer, that puck was deflected off a Ranger stick, but went wide. Loving it down was Zhilkin, but lost his balance. Couldn't set up for a shot. That's the Spirit send it back in with Glavin, but Kitchener will counterattack with Caden Schneider. Schneider, bouncing puck will come looking for Hayden Ellis. Ellis out in front for Vermeulen, save made by Shurigan. And that's a massive save late in the game with 25.7 seconds left.
Well, now that we have a spare moment, it's worth acknowledging the fact that Tanner Lamb, with that empty net goal, has reached the century mark. 100 career points in the Ontario Hockey League with his multi-point game here tonight. 3 points against the Saginaw Spirit. So congratulations, Tanner Lamb, for hitting that milestone here on home ice. Tanner Lamb with 100 career OHL points. Congratulations, well done.
Yeah, absolutely. Tanner Lamb, a guy that's just earned every bit of the ice opportunities gotten in his 3 years here in Kitchener, and you've seen the growth each and every year. You know, he may be small in stature, but he plays with great heart. Good shot from the point. Came that time by Schneider, steered away by Shurigan. As the Spirit trying to get one last chance on Christian Kirsch. Rangers force the puck out of their own end only for a moment before Glavin sends it back in. Schneider trying to play it. It'll come to, nearly came to the point, but Hayden Ellis will get his stick on it, and that will do it. Time will expire as the Kitchener Rangers, they have now won 4 in a row with another impressive victory, a 5-2 win over the Saginaw Spirit.
Solid victory here to open up the weekend. A 3-goal victory over the Saginaw Spirit extends their winning streak now to 3 games. Christian Kirsch picks up the win and make a 4th straight, in fact, for the Kitchener Rangers, making a great night even better. A celebratory night to begin with, and they're celebrating just as hard now as they skate away with 2 points.
Well, the Kitchener Rangers, they really set the tone in that first period. Able to pick up 2 goals, and really that was too big of a hole for the Spirit to dig out of. They played Rangers hockey sound defensively, capitalized on their chances offensively, and Christian Kirsch was solid when needed. As the Rangers, they celebrate their town.
And they're skating over to the box right now, which is pretty cool to see, saluting Peter DeBoer and Steve Spott, and that's a pretty cool moment for sure.
Yeah, they started the game with handshakes for Peter DeBoer and Steve Spott, so they'll end with a nice salute to the former Ranger head coaches.
And the present recognizing the past, that's always cool to see, and certainly a big part of the fabric of the Kitchener Rangers organization.
Let's take a look at these shots on goal here tonight, Dan.
As Rangers outshoot the Saginaw Spirit 40-22, 13-7 in that third period as they're able to skate away. Got a bit of a scare from the Spirit in that third period, but again, skating away with a 3-goal victory.
Well, Dan, they're rolling out the red carpet, and that can only mean one thing. Time to take a look at tonight's 3 stars.
And you wouldn't be surprised to see Tanner Lamb's name on there, would you? No, there he is. That first star belonging to Tanner Lamb. 100 career OHL points beside his name now after that 3-point output. Jakub Kromiak solid on the back end with the assist as well. And Harmer for the Saginaw Spirit had that second goal of the night. Did he, to make it a 2-goal game at 1 point, but there you go, the 3 stars for tonight's game here in this Rangers 5-2 victory.
Big hugs from Romano, Humphreys, and Cameron Reed as they head off the ice. As the Kitchener Rangers, they've won 4 in a row with a 5-2 victory over the Saginaw Spirit, and they've taken their second game of the season against the Spirit this season. As we will take a break and be back with some post-game coverage as you're watching Hefner Kitchener Rangers hockey on Rogers TV.
Hey, it's Carson Campbell, host of What's Buzzin', and we want you to hang out with us. We have a whole lot of fun, keep you updated on trending stories, and
have a lot of fun with our guests.
And stir the pot a little bit too.
Slightly, maybe, we'll see.
8 p.m. Wednesday nights on Rogers TV.
I love being a champ.
I am a member of the Warham's Child Amputee Program. Through CHAMP, I get the artificial limbs I need to participate in everyday activities.
I'm always growing, so I always need new devices.
Support and helpful information on living with an amputation is available to me anytime.
I get to meet other kids that are just like me.
It's your donations that make the Warham's CHAMP program possible. Thank you.
Monsieur de Champlain, when I finish paddling through this wilderness and reach China, I shall greet them wearing this.
Monsieur Nicolet, your mission shall be for the honor of the king and the Holy Faith.
In the summer of 1634, Jean Nicolet set off from Quebec to find a trade route that would link Europe and North America with China.
But where is it?
Further, I know the place you are seeking.
For months, Nicolet pushed through the wilderness, searching for the Western Sea.
Georgia, Mississippi!
What did he say?
He says, Mississippi, great water.
Mississippi, the sea, China.
Jean Nicolet was wrong. It was Lake Michigan, not the Pacific. But others would follow his dream. Joliet, La Salle, the La Vérendrys, and they would map most of North America from the Rockies to the Gulf of Mexico.
Hello, just want to remind you that Lions TV Bingo is on Mondays here on Rogers TV, starting at 8, running till 9. Same great show, lots of prizes given away, and lots of funny little trivia along the way.
Welcome back to Hefner Kitchener Rangers Hockey and Rogers TV. Final score is 5-2 for the Rangers as they come out victorious on Level of Legacy night, celebrating Peter DeBoer. Let's take a look at the action from this period before final thoughts from the gentleman upstairs. Here's your game story. In the first period, it was Caden Schneider who got the Rangers on the board first at the 4:43 mark from the left point. I guess that's his spot now. Caden Schneider puts the Rangers up 1-0. A minute and 45 seconds after that, it's Christian Humphreys from Jakub Kromiak and Jack Pridham. That came at 6:28, and the Rangers are up 2-0. The Saginaw Spirit would cut the lead in half right here. Igor Barabanov gets his 8th of the year, you see in front from his knees, just picking it up behind Christian Kirsch, and that is 2-1 for the Rangers. One more goal before the period ends. Look at this beautiful one-timer behind the net from Lamb out to Cam Reed. That came at 16:40, 3-1 at the end of 20 minutes of play. Into the second period, we would go. Matthew Lachar gets the goal here. He had a pretty one in Brampton. He had a pretty one tonight. And the Rangers are up 4-1 on that semi-breakaway from Matthew Lachar. And then Carson Harmer, the third star of the game, this is in the third period, would cut the lead to 4-2. Again, a scramble in front of the net. Carson Harmer gets his 3rd of the year as Kirsch is unable to cover it up. But we added an empty netter right here. Tanner Lamb with the empty netter from Cameron Arquette and Luca Romano. That came at exactly exactly 17 minutes. There you see 5 different goal scorers for the Kitchener Rangers, and Christian Kirsch with 20 saves. The goals against was already at 1.99. It is going to get even lower tonight. We're going to talk to the coach. We're going to talk to Cameron Reid, but for now, final thoughts will come from Jason and Dan.
Well, thank you very much, Sean. And Dan, you know, a couple weeks ago, during rivalry week, really, we were talking about the Kitchener Rangers and their poor starts in the first period between the game against Guelph and the game against London. I think they combined for 6 shots in that first period. They've really changed the dynamic of how they start games. They really took over the game in the first period. They put 3 goals on Saginaw in that first period, and it was just too much for Saginaw to come out of.
Yeah, and it's easy for the coaches now to go back and look at the film and say, hey, guys, this is what happens. This is the product of when we start the hockey games off the right way, and you make your life so much easier when you can get ahead of things a little bit. And that's exactly what the Kitchener Rangers did today. They jumped out to that 2-0 lead, gave one back, but ultimately it was their game in full control for the rest of this hockey game, and they were full marks for the 2 points they skated away with now to leapfrog the Owen Sound Attack, who were idle tonight, into first place in the OHL Midwest Division. Too focused on that Yates Cup tomorrow night.
You got a big day tomorrow afternoon, Dan. But yes, of course, now first place in the Midwest Division are the Kitchener Rangers, and that's looking like to be a fun battle for first place, baby. You know London's going to be there as well, but Owen Sound, they're still putting up a good fight. But how about Tanner Lamb? You know, we talked about him. First star honors, 100 career OHL points tonight, but he's just all over the ice, distributing the puck. That pass on the one-timer goal from Cameron Reid, and of course he capped things off on the empty netter as well. But Tanner Lamb is a guy we keep saying time and time again, really playing with a chip on his shoulder since not getting drafted in this past summer's NHL draft.
Yeah, and he just progressed and kind of put that, I think, in his rearview mirror a little bit. And you see what the product of his hard work has been here on the ice, especially tonight with his 3-point effort, reaching 100 career OHL points as well. And just the quality of his passes as he's really become quite a good distributor to his teammates, setting up Cam Reid on a nice pass and having a couple other opportunities gifted over to a couple teammates as well. So, but and we saw obviously contributing on yet another Rangers goal. So, you know, the fact that he's able to do that with regularity now, more of a veteran presence with the Rangers, I think the sky is the limit, and maybe other teams, NHL teams, might be throwing some maybe free agent invites here too.
I think they definitely should. I mean, he may be small in stature, but he plays like he's, 6'4". He's got great playmaking ability.
And he skates so well, too.
And he plays with such confidence that you can just see why an NHL team would maybe want to throw him a free agent offer come at the end of this upcoming OHL season.
Take a flyer on him. What have you got to lose, right, with a talent like that?
We just saw the Ottawa Senators do that with, obviously, goaltending's different, but Jackson Parsons, and it's panning out for Jackson Parsons with the Ottawa Senators organization now playing in the ECHL. But as well, we talked about coming into this game, too, 3 players back in the lineup for Kitchener: Luke Ellenis, Carson Campbell, and of course Andrew Vermeulen. Maybe it wasn't their best games, but really you could just see what their presence in this lineup makes this Kitchener Rangers team, and makes them that much more scary.
We just see the true balance of what this team is all about, and we talked about balance last year, how the Rangers were able to have so much success because they were able to roll 4 lines, and we saw contributions from a 4th line and Matthew Lachar as well, not to take away from those 3 returnees, but it goes to show that, the fact that they're able to spread across 4 lines, the talent of the goal-scoring ability, and then you still have it on the back end too. Caden Schneider opening tonight's scoring, stepping into the lineup for Jacob Zoo, and then Cam Reid as well. So the fact you're getting defenders, you've got forwards contributing offensively, and then you add to the mix 3 solid players who are going to log a lot of minutes down the home stretch of this regular season as we near the midway point. It's a plenty of riches here for the Rangers team all of a sudden.
Yeah, and let's throw it down to ice level with Sean Fafaro.
Thanks, guys. Down here with head coach Jussi Ahokas. And Coach, how are you feeling after the game?
I thought we played a really, really good game, especially first 30 minutes. I thought we did really well. Created a ton of chances. I thought we had over at least 39. We could have scored even more. A lot of posts. But yeah, good win overall. Defensive play was good. Maybe after 4-1, we a little bit put our foot off the gas, but otherwise I still think the boys did a great job today.
Tanner Lamb was the first star of the game, had 3 points, now has 100 points in his OHL career. What can you say about his game?
Well, when he moves and when he battles, usually with his skill, really good things happen, and we saw it today.
Before the game, Peter DeBoer read the lineup card in there to your team, and then you saw this beautiful ceremony honoring him. What did that mean to watch from the bench and for your guys to see a championship coach on the team like that, on the ice like that, rather?
Well, all in all, like just our Rangers history and how important it is, and how the audience took him, and those like DeBoer, then Spotter there too. Like it's history, and it's unreal what the Rangers have here, and I think it was great. They came to read the lineup and said great words for our boys, and I can't, like, it's unreal. It's unreal, and we have just I have to say, great organization, and there's been a lot of great people in this organization also.
And the obvious question I saved for last. A big return, obviously, for Peter DeBoer and Steve Spott, but a bigger return, in my opinion, to the three guys that have been missing for your lineup. What does it mean to have those three back with the Rangers?
Well, of course, it's a big difference. And I thought we saw that first 30 minutes, and I thought Campbell played an unreal game, just breakouts, defensive play. He had a couple chances too. And Elena Vermeulen, good steady game. I know they'll be even better when the game's on. We can't wait too much, first game of the season, so give them 5 to 10 games, and I think they'll really get rolling.
A lot of great returns tonight and a lot of reasons to celebrate. Enjoy the rest of the night. We'll see you Sunday.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Well, thank you very much, Sean. All in all, really just a great night with a great ceremony with Peter DeBoer that kicked things off, and then the Rangers just played that great game. And, you know, we were just talking, obviously, what these players coming back, the Campbells, the Vermeulens, the Allenesses back, it adds that much more depth, and now the Kitchener Rangers can really be themselves, and Mike McKenzie can see what this team is made of if he wants to make moves as we're getting close to that trade deadline time. But this is the Ranger team that we expected to see. They can start to roll those 4 lines now.
Yeah, you start to wonder how much, if anything, the Rangers need to do to maybe boost the squad even more. But just to go back to a second, it's not too often you've heard the head coach of the Kitchener Rangers, UC Hoke, is almost lost for words. And again, it speaks volumes to what Peter DeBoer contributed to this organization. So I just wanted to throw that one out there. But go back to your thought in terms of this team in general. It might be so deep that, you know, Mike McKenzie's hand might not be forced to have to make a move. We'll see what happens.
We will see, and we'll throw it down to ice level with Sean Fafaro.
Thanks, guys, down here with Captain Cameron Reid. And Cam, you had the game-winning goal tonight, but knowing you like I know, you probably don't even know that at this point. How are you feeling after a big win?
Yeah, that was huge. It was a special day for a lot of people, our team, staff, the fans. So it was good to get a win and play good, especially.
Let's talk about why it was so special, because I'll ask you about Peter DeBoer in a moment, and that's a big return. But in my mind, a bigger return is those 3 guys that have been missing. A couple weeks ago, you were in the studio when Carson told us he was coming back November 7th, and I saw how excited you were. I mean, as a captain, as a friend, as a teammate, to see these guys back in the lineup, all 3 of them at once. What does it mean to have them back out there?
Yeah, you said it best. As a friend, as a player, captain, teammate, whatever it is. I mean, it's great to see their character and their impact back, and they're special players. They make a huge influence on the ice, and to have all 3 of them back, especially for at the same time, it's pretty cool, and they made a difference for sure today.
I said it was really difficult making Peter DeBoer the least exciting return of the day, with no disrespect to Peter DeBoer. Now, as the captain of this team, Cam, I have to say, you had Peter DeBoer read the lineup in there. You got to watch that ceremony. You got to hear those words. You got to feel the emotion of how Rangers Nation reacts to a championship. And then when they talked about the Memorial Cup, what did that mean to the team to be able to have that in the room and out on the ice?
It was really unreal. You could you could see the emotion in the building, especially certain people. You know, from staff to fans. I look around, and there's some people crying too, and that's it. Really just it touched me personally. I know it touched everyone on our team, and it was a really cool thing to see, just how emotional and how much it means to the whole city of Kitchener.
We've talked about this before, how if you're not in Kitchener, you don't understand that sometimes it's bigger than hockey, and this is one of those moments that makes you realize that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Good luck on Sunday. Can't wait to see you. I'll let you go, and then I gotta sign off here.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Cam. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Hefner Kitchener Rangers Hockey. For everyone on the crew, thanks. Just a reminder, Sunday is the annual Remembrance Day game. If you haven't seen this year's jerseys yet, take a look at this video. This year's jerseys are unbelievable. The Remembrance Day jerseys are always spectacular. I own 2 of them. I got them I'm going to bring them on Sunday. But this year's jersey, designed by Alex Witherspoon, is unbelievable. Take a look at it. You're going to see the man we just talked to, Cameron Reed. Look at that jersey. The Rangers will be wearing those on Sunday afternoon. This year's auction will be online only, so if you're not here at the game, you can bid on those auctions, and Rangers Reach is giving one away as well. We will see you back here on Sunday. For Jason, for Dan, Gloria down here with me, everybody on our crew, thanks for joining us. We'll see you Sunday afternoon.